I don't know what I did different. That was so strange. You got the notification?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here we go. We're going to jump right into it since we are short on time. Hey, everyone. Heather here. And this morning, I came up with a crazy, crazy idea. This is probably the craziest idea that I have come up with in this entire 2 years of doing this. And I'm like really, I don't know, just like amped about it, but also scared. And I wanted to pitch it to Tom to just make sure before I like redirect everything that this isn't, that I just like talk it out with somebody and someone just checks me before I like blaze down like a freaking crazy. We have 20 minutes because Tom is on his lunch break at work, and then I have a feeling that we're going to continue this on another live stream when he gets home. So for now, I'm just going to kind of like give him how I came to this decision, and then that way he can marinate on it for the next 2 hours until he comes home, and then we can talk about it further. Are you ready, Tom?
Yeah, I'm ready. I was trying not to talk so that it
and like just a disclaimer, Tom has no idea. Like he's thinking
it's
about
my lunch break right now, so I'm just here in my classroom and I don't know. I'm a little nervous. So let's go.
I am too. So I don't know. But anyway, okay. So I wrote this down. Let's see. Okay, you of all people have understood my vision for Sharespark, and a lot of that is because we're on the same page for digital literacy. You are doing like something that's very similar to Sharespark already. You have a proven successful model of Sharesparking people. So you understood my vision better than anybody I've ever met, right?
Okay, I like that. This is all good so far.
Okay. And my idea with Sharespark, it was this movement to showcase the positive and productive uses of digital media. It is supposed to be like very having tutorials, talking about the whys and the hows. And my vision was to see it as a content creating company, like media company, where we not only were doing tutorial type content and maybe like, classes and workshops and stuff like that to help people become more digitally literate, but then also, showcasing creators that were Sharesparked and showcasing creators that were, great examples of Sharespark.
Right. Okay. I understand this.
So here's the thing. Here's the fork that I've come to. Yesterday or the day before, I did a live stream with my brother about Facebook ads, right? And so I was all day. We came up with the target audience, right? And we came up with, okay, who are the 4 greatest success stories of my content, which is Sharespark, and that's been you, me, Krissa, and James. So I was sitting here thinking, okay, how am I going to design the Facebook ad? And my biggest question was, when you see the Facebook ad, whose account is it going to be next to? Is it going to be Sharespark Media or HeatherJustCreate? Again, back to my freaking question that I ask myself every single day is like, which one? And, we have talked about this at, so many nights on like, okay, it's got to be Sharespark. Most of the content has to be Sharespark, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. Hey, I have a Diet Coke too.
This is yours from last night.
Gross.
I feel like I'm going to cry.
Well, so far I don't have any new information. You just said.
I have like 15 minutes. Okay. Hold on, I have to calm down. Okay. Based on those 4 people that have been Sharesparked, we wrote down like everything that we had in common, right? I don't know why I'm crying. But I realized that the one posted was that we were not Sharesparked through Sharespark. We were Sharesparked through me. And so I was imagining like someone going through their feed and you see this like really cool, like, promo video about Zero to YouTube Hero. And it's like, I'm going to show you, I'm Heather, the creator of Zero to YouTube Hero. I'm going to show you how to do this. And you're going to like share your story, blah, blah, blah. But it's going to say Sharespark Media. And it's like, what is Sharespark Media? Like, what is the story behind that, And so I was like, doesn't it make more sense to have it be HeatherJustCreate? So it's like, I'm the one showing you, not this like entity that hasn't even like took off. Like it's nothing right now. It's just this idea that I've seen, but I haven't been able to like breathe into life. And like, the only way I've been able to do that is through my own stuff. Right. And so like, then I was thinking like, okay, who's currently following Sharespark anyway, right? Like the people that are following Sharespark are only following it because of me. Like if you go through the followers and the friends and the subscribers, like most of the people that engage all there just because they took the extra step to follow a secondary account that I was doing. But it wasn't because like, oh, I want to be Sharespark. I'm going to follow this so I can learn how to start a YouTube channel. Like even you, me, Carissa, and James, whenever we have a question, when it comes to digital media, who do you go to? You go to me. And that, it's, I mean, that's because, I haven't been creating content on Sharespark, but, I've been seeing this whole time, like people connect with people. They don't connect with this idea. They don't connect with like, and I think I'm like so upset because is to completely like dissolve Sharespark Media and just like my plan is right now my tagline for HeatherJustCreate is just create more. But I feel like, with season 2 of the blog and this new direction and having a product to sell now, just create more is already in the name HeatherJustCreate. So why do I have to say it 5 million times? Like my tagline should be Sharespark. It's this cool word. It's this cool idea. It's this cool, like, statement that I came up with. Share your story, spark your potential. And we talk about this all the time, that ultimate head fake of like, I can't talk to you about digital literacy, but watch me do it. Like you only talk to me because you saw my video on my channel.
Right.
What is the difference between Sharespark content on Sharespark's channel versus any other channel that's doing the same exact thing? The only difference is me and my story and the way that I'm doing it. And then like I have to grab tissue. And like I'm thinking about just everyone that I've talked to, everyone that's ever thought that Sharespark was a good idea, which is pretty much everyone I've ever encountered. The thing that really hooked them was the fact that I was documenting my journey as an entrepreneur and that I cry on my YouTube channel and that I show the struggle. And then that ability is the thing that makes someone look at their own life and be like, oh, she's doing that, then I could do something that's even, not as like dramatic, but that's where the Sharesparking happens, and then like, I ask you this all the time. If I come up with an Instagram tutorial idea, I have to make one for Sharespark and one for this channel. And it's like 2 different things. And then nothing ever gets made because now I've just doubled my workload. Like, why create 2 videos framed differently for 2 different channels when I could just do it on here and then just create playlists? Like, why? It just doesn't make sense. And then, sorry, as I turn the page of my thing, Casey, this morning, okay, I think this is kind of what, like, was the iceberg, because now he's coming out with this new thing, right? 368. Which I don't even know what that is after watching his video, but he himself is putting it on his own current channel. He's not creating a new one, because the last time he did that with Beam, no one gave a crap. He didn't even give a crap. Even when he was producing the videos on Beam, it never had the same traction because it's just not Casey. It's just not Casey. It's this other thing, like, we believe in what he's trying to do, but he just is able to make more of an impact because people connect with his personal story. And I don't see why I'm not doing that either, you know? And then like I think about Sunny and Sean, right? Sean Cannell and Sunny Lenarduzzi, who are like probably like my competitors of my product, right? Because my product is showing people how to make their entire channels are about. That's what they stand for. That's their personal brands, blah, blah, blah. But they are catering to an audience that wants to make money. They're using YouTube to make money, to build influence, to eventually make money. It all just comes back down to money. That's how mine is different. So why am I going to create this entity that has no story behind it whatsoever to sell that? You know, like even if you go to the Sharespark YouTube channel as it is now, you can see that a lot of the content was framed around business, because I was thinking like, that's what I'm going to do to get money, is I'm going to show people how to make money. I'm going to show you to do small business marketing through, you know, making a YouTube channel. I'm going to, you know, it's all stuff like that. And it's like, I've never wanted to do that ever. And I'm if anything, like that's already being done. So if my thing is like showing you how to share your story, why don't I sell it on this thing where I'm freaking sharing, you know? And then like, sorry, I'm just word barfing. I know we have 8 minutes, but then even with Sharespark TV, like, you know, and there's no offense. I don't mean this like in a negative way, but you're never gonna like care about Sharespark the same way that you care about the Enthusiasm Project. In that, you know, there's not a day that goes by where you don't think of a new idea. You're not checking analytics. You're printing posters and business cards and you're not going to have that same thing for Sharespark. And, you know, mostly because we don't know what it is, you know? So, huh?
Back for anything?
Wait, what?
I haven't gotten to say anything, and I have to leave in a few minutes. So can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because there's a lot going on, because let's see what you're saying, and I have questions, and I also have responses. Because first, I just want to hit the last point you mentioned about Sharespark, because you're right, but I also want to point out that the reason that that is true, that I would not put in the same, like, I have this idea, should it go on Sharespark or not, is because last fall, when we started doing Sharespark TV, or putting everything in, we were constantly talking about the marketing's going to begin, it's going to turn on, and we went months, and it didn't happen. And I wondered why it didn't happen. And part of me felt like it was because something wasn't clicking on your end in the right way to like jump on board and market it like crazy, which is basically what you're talking about right now. And from my point of view, like I'm at work right now where I have to go and like deal with 1,000 different things. So I get to take my head out of this stuff and go over here, and then you're swimming in it 24/7. And so hearing you say all of those things and explain it all and do that, for me and maybe for other people watching, it's so clear. Like, I feel like you're swimming in this thing, but the way you just explained it, it's super clear that what you're talking about doing is exactly, I think, what everyone wanted you to do anyway, I guess, because it makes so much sense to do the one common thing, which is you not build another entity, another outside entity, but to share your story to spark others' potential. I don't know if that makes sense, but from hearing what you're saying and watching it and listening to it, it seems like you're struggling to debate, and this is, you know, it is a huge idea, but it also seems so clear, like that it makes so much sense to me. Like, you know, you have a giant audience that has latched onto you, and a significantly smaller audience that has latched onto the Sharespark entity, because people want you, they don't want an entity. And I think it makes sense, instead of having the Sharespark entity and then like you have your thing over here, to flip it, and you have you, and then, you know, this is what you're doing through you. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I was thinking, like, you know, not like, I guess with saying that, you know, you're not going to put the same like time, effort, and energy into Sharespark, I don't think you should, is what I'm saying, is because I think if if Sharespark is about sharing your story, then why don't we share our stories as the Enthusiasm Project and HeatherJustCreate? Why create a story that doesn't exist, like a third one?
Or like manufacture one when there's two existing ones.
Yeah, and on top of that, like, let's be real, like, we're in a relationship now. We can't, like, I don't want to spend 24/7 on this. You know, like, I don't want to spend all this time on like my channel. You're spending all this time on your channel, and then we have to find time to like do Sharespark on top of that. Like, it just doesn't make, it is never going to work the way that it is right now. Do you know what I mean?
So what are you? So what are you proposing? What's your? I mean,
Yeah. So this, I mean, I don't, you know, I don't know. I think because I'm like, it's not that Sharespark can't ever exist. Like, I wouldn't, you know, delete everything and blah, blah, blah. But like, even Sean and Sunny, like, they don't have, you know, secondary Instagrams for their like product. It's just on their thing. And like, even when I was posting, you know, stuff on Instagram, because I had a whole content calendar like for this month of April, it seemed silly, like, where I had to debate what channel does this go on, you know? And it's like, why doesn't it just go all on one? Because why does, I don't understand, like, how am I even making that decision? Like, it goes on here and it goes on there. Like, how do I even do that?
I mean, we've tried to strategize that in the past, but like clearly you're not. I don't know. You're really forcing yourself to do something that you don't want to do when you know the thing that you want to do is. So I think you should just do the thing you want to do. Why force it? Why put a square peg in a round hole? Like, when there's a very easy like solution that seems to be much more in line with what your goals are, much more in line with what other people want, much more in line with like time to do it. And I don't know. I mean, that's what, when I say it sounds obvious, sorry. When I say it sounds obvious, that's what I'm talking about when it sounds obvious. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
You seem very unhappy.
No. I think like, I was super excited earlier, but I think just like saying it out loud, I'm like, I think I'm relieved just because it's just has prevented me from actually like running.
Here's what it reminds me of. I'm glad you said that. It reminds me of a terrible analogy where you're an excellent runner, but you're training to be a mountain climber. It's like, if you're really good at running and you love running, why are you trying to climb a mountain? Like, run. And like, that's what it is. Like, I feel like you have this natural thing which is proven versus this other thing which is like, you know, which makes sense. And I would have done the exact same thing and I probably wouldn't have had the realization you had. But I think I'm just trying to say it all makes very much sense to me, and I'm guessing to anyone who hears the idea that it would make sense to them too. The image froze.
Wait, hello? Are you still going?
I think so. It's freezing.
Okay, I know you have to go, so what I'm gonna leave you with is like, check me, you know, like, think about it, and like, because it's a big deal. Like, we've spent so many hours talking about, you got to stop doing HeatherJustCreate, you got to do Sharespark Media. And I know we convinced ourselves, we came up with very valid reasons to do that. So yes, this sounds smart and it sounds like it's the way to go, but also, you know, we were so convinced to do it the complete opposite way. So
But what I'll say is, one, I will check you, and two, if you need me to. But two, we had to spend hours convincing ourselves that the other way was the way to do it. You had to spend 15 minutes talking to convince me this is the way to do it. Like, that's what I'm talking about. When things, and you and I know this personally very well, to stop forcing things and just go, like, get in the flow of like what is working and what is coming at you. And I don't know why that's not what was happening, where it was like trying to choke this idea to life that just, it's not even that it was a bad idea or wasn't ready. It's just like it could be more effective if done this way. So it's not that you're abandoning all this work or all this energy or all these beliefs. You're just doing it in a different, more efficient, better way, which is good. Thing froze. I don't, or you're judging me. I don't know.
Wait, what?
Oh, the thing froze after I stopped talking. It just looked like you were judging me. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. So I know you have to go, so we can talk about it more when you get home. I don't know why I started crying and why I'm so sad. Sorry.
Well, when you said you're gonna dissolve Sharespark, what does that mean?
I have no idea. Like I don't know. I feel like I should into Sharespark Media and rather have the word Sharespark signify what I'm already doing.
I think that makes perfect sense. I think based on, because literally you're right. I had no idea what was happening when you called. So based on what I know and what I've, prior knowledge, I think I think that's the perfect marriage of exactly what you're trying to do. And I think that it's smart to keep Sharespark as an entity, because you still have to get paid and you still have to do business things. And I think it's smart that that's what Sharespark is, your business entity. And it's you see people all the time, like they have their production company. That's where they handle Seth Rogen or James Franco or whatever. Like they have, they make all their weird stuff. They do all their things, but then they have, it's all done through the business part, which no one ever sees or really deals with, is done through their production company. So I think you have 2 years worth of business development that you don't want to just toss. So I think you should look at all of the tools that you have and smash them together into like the most effective toolbox possible, instead of separating it everywhere.
Right. So like I don't know what that means. I think that's what I'm gonna spend the next, hour and a half until you come home thinking about. So I can, when you come back, then we can talk about like, okay, let's unpack that.
Okay, so let me ask. Let's do that. Let's unpack what that means and what that looks like. That'll be part 2. But most importantly, and if if other people are watching this and it's ending, to serve them, this has been a roller coaster of emotions, but how are you feeling right now?
I don't know. Like I still want to cry, but I don't know why.
I understand that emotion, but I mean, like,
I think that it's a mix of like relief in that like the path seems so much clearer moving forward, because like this thought process has put what I have struggled with so hard to figure out so succinctly that I'm like, I can't believe that I was trying to figure out a problem that was impossible. Where I'm like I don't know. Like it's just relief, as in like there's this really, really complicated way to do it, and then there's this other more simple like way.
right.
And then also like not like I know everything happens the way that it has to happen, but also just like, I don't know. I guess it wasn't like I wasn't going to come to this realization until I had a product.
Oh, so it had to, like, there was something that had to be the catalyst for it to happen.
Yeah, because how would I, like, the only reason why I even thought about it was because I was about to design the Facebook ad. And then, what account are you going to put it on? And I'm just like.
Can I ask a quick question before I head off? When you, 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, when you started all this, did you start the Sharespark and the HeatherJustCreate accounts like at the same time? like they were at 0, 0, and like you started a business one and a personal one, and you were going to build them.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes sense then. So if we go back there and you built this thing, it makes sense. You're like, I have my business thing. This is what I quit my job to build. This is my personal thing, or I'm going to share the story of that. And then it just so happened that like one just went bigger than the other one. Because I mean, like you said, there was a product immediately. HeatherJustCreate had a product, which was you from day one sharing your story. Sharespark didn't have an official product yet. And then this thing grew and morphed and changed over 2 whole years. And so I think like, I don't know, I mean, it's just sort of, it's the natural thing. It wasn't something you were going to know from day one, 2 years ago.
Right. And, you know, I seriously like wrote down my entire story, like as I was writing, as to why I made every decision that I did. And there's no other, like, it had to have been this way. But like, I don't know why I never saw it another way. Like, even with Logan Paul, you know, doesn't he have a tagline?
I don't know.
Like, it's like the Mavericks or something. Like, Mavericks do something, right? Like, he doesn't have a second channel for the Mavericks. Like, it's just him. You know?
That makes a lot of sense. Like, why would you be like Apple computer, Apple's, right? Like, they have, you know.
Like, I don't understand. Like, now that I've thought about it this way, I don't understand what I even wanted Sharespark Media to be. You know, I mean, like, I just don't, I'm not at that point where.
I think what it was starting out, there was a lot more confidence in the idea of a business thing. Coming from a work environment as an employee, there was a lot more confidence in the idea that people would latch onto a business versus you, who at that point were just a person. And then now you've learned, actually, especially with what you're selling, people latch on to you much more so than the business side of it, because you are the one, and literally in the course, in the product, you're the one that takes their hand and pulls them through it, not pulls them, leads them through it as they go on the journey. It's not this media corporation, it's this person. And the reason I would take your class over someone else is not only because it has the better info, but because of you, because I want this person to show me this stuff. So
wait, you cut out right there. What did you say? Because of what?
Because of you, because the reason I would take your class is because I want you to show me those things specifically. I don't want a PowerPoint. I don't want somebody else. I don't want Sean. I don't want Sunny. I don't want any of those people. Specifically, I don't. I want you to show me that stuff. So it took 2 years to learn that, like, in a weird way, you are the product, but you are the Sharespark thing that people connect to do the stuff that you wanted them to do from the very beginning, to get to where they want to go, to help them get to where they want to go.
Yeah. And that, like, I don't know why that makes me want to cry.
Well, I think that's a good thing. I think it's almost like you're it is like a superhero movie where you're discovering your power and you're like, wait, it's almost like you realize you were underestimating yourself in a way.
Yeah. Like that. Exactly.
But how else could you? No sane person is gonna be like, I'm gonna quit my job and then just like focus on me, like for everybody. Of course, everyone's gonna be like, well, I need to have another thing. Like, I left an organization, I need to have an organization. And it's only through going through this like totally different path that you're gonna come to the conclusion of, wait, no, like I have something else that is much more rare and different.
Right. Whew.
Okay,
well,
so ruminate on it.
You too.
We'll do a bunch of paperwork and things, and then we can pick up discussion in like 2 hours.
Yeah. So if you're watching right now, I see comments, but I haven't had a chance to read them. Tom's gonna log off. I'll stick around I'll probably like ruminate on this with you guys. So
I'm keeping going for 2 hours and I'll join.
Yeah, then you can jump back in. All right. Well.
Okay. Well, as I leave, I want to say that I'm very proud of you. I love you very much, and you have my full support in anything, because I know whatever you decide to do is always going to be the best and the right decision. So I don't know. I'm just happy for you, I guess.
I love you.
All right. I love you too. I don't know how to exit this. Do I just close the window?
Okay, bye. Oh.
Bye.
All right, guys, it's just me and you. Hold on. My snot is like literally. I'm going to mute this so you don't hear it because that's not some ASMR-ish. That's gross. Okay. I am still upset. But not in like an upsetting way. I'm just like in shock, I think. It's hard when like I feel like I've dedicated the past 2 years of my life to this direction. And I don't consider it a waste, but it's also like it's also just like, you know, it's so different from how I've been doing it that I'm just in shock of like I wish I could convey how different everything is going to be in terms of my head. Like I'm sure for you guys, you know, you're not going to see that much change, but like man, like when I think about why I haven't been vlogging and like what holds me back, it's just like I try. There's so many things I can't even like. It's hard as an entrepreneur, you know, like you're trying to make money. This is my second year doing this. I have no money left, you know, so I have to do what makes the most sense on paper before anything else. And I hate the fact that that is like what has been dictating everything, but like I think that if I did it this way, I could get to the money faster and achieve my goal of share sparking people like more efficiently. Even sense like there's so many vlogs, there's so many ideas I've come up with, and like, you know, I don't want every vlog for me to just be sitting on this damn couch. Like I wanted to do, you know, the boosted board extended battery has been sitting on my thing for how long? I've been wanting to do a vlog on that, and like it's just like, okay, should I do a vlog on that? No, because I need to focus on making tutorials for Sharespark. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to make a tutorial about how I created 02 Superhero. Am I going to put that on Sharespark? Am I going to put that on this channel? Like, I don't know. And then nothing ends up getting done because I can't like it's just not clear. It's just can't. And just eliminating this like secondary thing that I have spent so much time trying to figure out. Like I just feel so like, oh my god, everything is going to be so much easier, you know? I mean, everything is still going to be hard, but at least it's going to be more clear. Gosh, okay, hold on. I have not read the comments. I also have a cold, so it's just a bad situation. All right. Adoji says, Tom doesn't know. This sounds juicy. James, passion. Yes, I texted you the day of my wedding about being shadow banned. Yes, it's you. See, James, like right there. Oh. Al says, dissolve Sharespark. Drama up in here, like as the world turns. Derek, hi. Al says, I think you should keep Sharespark and create a fourth channel. Black Girl Entrepreneur, I feel what you're saying, girl. I keep everything on my one channel because my product is me and I want people to see it grow from the beginning. So keeping my product alongside my YouTube channel is perfect. Carissa, hi, I just signed in and you're crying. Okay, Carissa, just to catch you up, because you and James and Tom are like a huge, we're part of this decision that's like making me cry, but it's not like bad tears. You know how I emailed you guys. I was gonna do a whole vlog on this, but forget it. Like we're just gonna live stream it. So I have Zero to YouTube Hero. I have a product. I've got the sales page. It looks beautiful. You can check it out at zero2youtubehero.com. I have a promo video that I'm super excited about. I had all the pieces to have a product to sell and to sell that product, but I didn't know who I was selling the product to, because I can't sell the product to anyone who just wants to start a YouTube channel. That's just insanely, it's just too broad, you know, and I knew that. And so, I think what's been throwing me off is that a lot of my clients and the people who follow me and the people who've paid me, like if I think about all the people who have paid me, they are all entrepreneurs or business people. Okay, even my first 3 pre-sales that I made before, even like it was like, I'm creating Zero to YouTube Hero. You could buy it for half the price as I create it. The first 3 people that bought, all business people who are like over the age of like 45, let's say. They're like older. And I think because of that, I wasn't thinking about like who has been a true success story, not defined by money. Okay, not people who have not only been Sharesparked because of me, but are continuously living and breathing Sharespark, and they're still doing it. They didn't understand digital media and how to use it. Now they do, and they're still going. Okay. When I thought about who those 4 success stories were, it's me, Carissa, James, and Tom. The 4 of us. It's not, and none of them, they didn't give me money to do this. They just followed my story, you know? And when I think about the people who have given me money, like they're not Sharesparked, you know? Like I don't know what they're doing. Like some of them, you know, they're business people, they're CEOs, they're presidents, you know, they're high up in their company. And usually people in that position, they don't have time to figure this crap out. They would rather just pay someone to do it for them. And rightfully so. Like that's what a leader does. You just delegate and you just make sure the whole thing runs towards the goal, you know? And those people are never going to be Sharespark. They're never going to go out of their way. You know, they're going to come up with an idea at midnight and be like, oh my God, like I need to ask Heather if I, you know, if this makes sense or blah, blah, blah. Like those are not those people. And I think that's been throwing me off because I'm like, okay, I got to chase the money. I got to do what makes practical business sense. And these are the people who are giving me money, but those are not the people who are being Sharesparked. And so finally I came to the conclusion, 4 stories. What do we have everything, you know, what do we have in common? And this is because, you know, my brother was telling me about Facebook ads and I was like, who am I even targeting? I need to know like everything, demographics, behaviors, where they live, what they do, what they like, you know, everything. And I came up with this. I don't know if you guys can see that. See these Post-its? So one Post-it for every single thing that the 4 of us have in common. And I just was thinking of everything, you know, like absolutely everything from like, you know, we like pop music to, you know, we're between 30 and 32 years old when we started our YouTube channels or started like, not, it doesn't necessarily have to be just YouTube, but just the idea of like sharing your story and sparking your potential. And like, you know, where do we shop at to, what kind of, you know, I don't know, we like subscribe to streaming services. Like I just thought about freaking anything. But the one Post-it that I totally forgot was like, how were the 4 of us even Sharespark in the first place? Because I wasn't like, I myself had to be Sharespark for this to even be a thing. And it's because I started sharing my story and that's when it clicked. Like it was through this vlog channel, vlog number 20. It was vlog 20 where I myself became Sharesparked and the whole thing changed. Like you can go watch it. You could see the difference between the first 19 vlogs and vlog number 20 where everything changed for me. And I was like, this is crazy. Like I don't know what I want to do with my YouTube channel, but I feel empowered and I feel like I have a voice. I can make a difference. I'm not afraid of like putting myself out there. All of those things, that is what it means to be Sharesparked. And like, Dial in 4, what's up? Black Girl Entrepreneur, you can do both. Just organize a schedule where you focus on one thing a day. Like Monday is Heather day, Tuesday, Sharespark day. You know, Black Girl Entrepreneur, I have tried that since day one. You know, like I can show you all the schedules that I've come up with. And it's not only the time and the scheduling, it's just like everything, every decision that I make. I take a picture and I want to share it. Now, I have to go through the Heather or Sharespark debate with everything. Do I share this on Sharespark? Do I share this on HeatherJustCreate? You know, like, which one does it make more sense to share it on? And I've realized that if you go, for example, okay, if you go to the Sharespark Media Instagram, or even the YouTube channel. So go to the YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/Sharespark Media. All of that stuff is very cold. It's very just like, want to know how to use your smartphone to record marketing videos? Like, you don't know, you know, who like wears a backwards snapback telling you these tips, but that's it. Like, you don't even need to know who I am. There's no story behind it whatsoever. And on the Instagram, you know, I was creating these clips and these little like 1-minute tutorials. And just even in this week that I've been posting, I don't know how I make the decision of like, this should go on the Sharespark channel and this should go on HeatherJustCreate. Because there's like the Zero to YouTube Hero promo. I put that on my channel, my Instagram, okay? And I wrote this whole long thing about like, look at my cool promo video, but I can't identify my target audience. Like, do you guys have any tips? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sharing my story as I've been doing for my entrepreneurial journey. And that is what connected with people. You know, like that is what people read it. You know, people read the long essays that I put on Instagram and Facebook more so than they would if I were to take that same promo video, put it on Sharespark and reframe the whole thing to say, hey, do you want to start a YouTube channel? Check out Zero to YouTube Hero. It's an online course that'll help you do this and this, and you create a thriving community, even if you've never picked up a camera, blah, blah, blah. Which one are you going to connect with? You know, like people are going to connect with me. That's just it. Like, and if they don't, then they don't, then they go. Like, I don't want those people following me anyway. Oh my God. I just, it's, yeah. Killer of Demons, Don't Cry. It's a good cry though. I need it. James says, it sounds like you're refocusing what you've been doing and making it work for you because you feel like what you've tried at this point isn't the road you want to go down. Yeah. It sounds like you're refocusing what you've been doing and making it work for you because you feel what you've tried at this point isn't a road you want to go down. I think it's a mixture of both. Like, it's the road I don't necessarily want to go down, but also like, I don't know what the road even is. Like, okay, let me explain to you what I was originally envisioning with Sharespark, right? When I first started this whole thing, share your story, spark your potential, I wanted to create an entity that was education-based, that would teach people how they could share their story and spark the potential. So a lot of that is like, how do you use these apps on your phone? How to use YouTube? How to use LinkedIn to find a job? How do you do live streaming? Facebook versus YouTube for online video? You know, how do you use Yelp? Like all these things, right? But like, what do I eventually want Sharespark to be? Like, what does it look like at the end of the day? What, you know, like if a subscriber were to subscribe to Sharespark, how would they describe it? This is what Sharespark Media is about. It's just too much. It's too big. It's like tutorials about anything digital media related. Then you lose like, why am I even sharing my story? You know, because if everything is search engine based, right? So people are coming to that channel because they typed something into the search bar to discover one of the tutorial videos. That's like people from all freaking over, you know, like people are coming to that channel because they want to like make money off of YouTube. People are coming to that channel because they want to get a job on LinkedIn. People are coming to that channel because, you know, they're a business on Yelp and they've been getting negative reviews. People want to go to that channel because they want to learn how to build a personal brand. It's just too convoluted. Like, there's no focus, you know, there's not like, this channel would be great for someone to do this. And I don't know. Like, the way that I see it is like, why not just, you know, okay, here's the notebook that like I'm currently on. Okay. This is where I like take all my notes, script all my vlogs, write my courses, blah, blah, blah. If I like move to the first couple pages, the last thing, actually the very first page, it says Instagram on HeatherJustCreate. And I was doing a tutorial on how to use Instagram, like 10 tips for using Instagram. Now, first question, does that go on HeatherJustCreate? Does that go on Sharespark? Well, doesn't it make sense that if I'm going to create content that's a tutorial based about digital media, does it not go on the Sharespark freaking channel, since that's my business, you know? But then it's like, well, how do I even know these 10 tips? Because I've been using it for my Instagram, HeatherJustCreate. So like now, you know, now I have to create 2. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Okay. Chill Up Chops. Nice to see you. Have you considered building your personal brand and content around beginner YouTube success with your personality stories? With your personality, stories, and style, it would Sharespark an audience naturally to your products. Chill Hop Chops. That's it. That's it right there. All right. Have you considered building your personal brand and content around beginner YouTube success? That's exactly it. Why has it always been like, if I'm going to talk about beginner digital media success, I have to go put it on this other thing? Why? You know? I'm sure there's a reason. Like, I know there's reasons why I did everything I've done. You know, there's a reason why I've done everything the way that I've done it this far. But oh my God, I just feel clarity. Okay, Black Girl Entrepreneur, that's the thing. Just share it all on HeatherJustCreate. Killer of Demons. On my original Human Killer 99 channel, I started off slow, then got into drama, and my sub count skyrocketed, but it backfired on me and I lost the channel. I got 1,200 subs now, and I'm happy on this channel. Yeah. I mean, it's already, there's so many reasons to focus on one channel. And if you've been following my journey for a long time, you know that I have tossed back and forth on this. Like, okay, you know, HeatherJustCreate is picking up momentum, so I'm going to put my efforts here. And Sharespark Media is not necessarily picking up momentum, but I see like direction, so I'm going to focus more effort here. And like, I think what's disappointed me in the past like 3 months is that I don't know what story to share, so I just stopped sharing, you know? And a lot of people can say, oh, it's because, you know, you fell in love with Tom, you got into a relationship, and you just dropped off the face of the earth. Yeah, that's true. But I wanted to share that story. Like, that was one of the coolest stories that I've ever lived. And I wanted to share like every aspect of that. But I just started to feel like, does anyone care about like, you know, that story? Or should I be focusing on like Sharespark? And so I just stopped. Completely. And you know, Tom and I have talked about this back and forth, but we were like, okay, you know, priority is money. You don't have a product. Freaking like buckle down on Zero to YouTube Hero and we'll come back, you know, like let's refocus. And actually tonight we were going to kick back Sharespark TV again. But even with that, we were thinking like, you know, Sharespark TV is awesome. We're both really proud of it. We're so excited to do it every single time, but it's not enough how. It's too much why. Like we talk about, oh my God, this is why there should be digital literacy classes in school. And this is why, you know, people should be aware of how their Facebook feed works and people should know what algorithms are, you know, but we never say, we don't talk about like, this is how you can learn how your Facebook feed works. And this is how, you know, these are the tools that you can use to whatever. Like we don't talk about that stuff. So we've been talking about, you know, how do we plug in more actual digital literacy? But even with that, it's like, you know, like everything is I don't want to say everything is at zero, because obviously like I don't want to discount all the work that I have, you know, put into this far. But I feel like we're kind of all at the same level. There's Sharespark TV, there's Sharespark Media, there's HeatherJustCreate, there's like these things, but none of them is like, you know, I don't know. I think it makes the most sense to just combine everything into one and just go. You know, that way I don't have to think about, okay, if I want to make a video about my boosted board, I don't have to feel bad about doing that. Like I felt guilty for doing the fun vlogs because it wasn't Sharespark. You know, it's not furthering the Sharespark Media following. It's not going to get Sharespark Media any new subscribers. It's not going to bring in money, you know, but like, why am I even here? It's because I just created more, you know, I just created vlogs, and it just seems like stupid to not, I don't know. So anyway, let's see. Chill Hop Chops, you would naturally be able to use your creativity and personal style to help Sharespark aspiring creators, just like you did Tom, James, and Kissa, and myself. I'm in that early 30s group with y'all. See, there you go. There you go. There you go. See, oh my God. Like right there. It's like, I don't know why. I mean, I do know why, because as I told Tom, I texted him earlier this morning and I was like, hey, I think I came to a really crazy decision and I really need to talk to you about it because it kind of affects you. Could you talk? Like, do you have time to talk? And, you know, because I couldn't wait until he got home from work. And then he was like, okay, let's live stream during his lunch break. But, you know, all of it was still kind of this convoluted feeling. It still is, you know, like I don't even know how this is going to play out. But I wrote down basically my journey. Like I summarized every single chapter of the past 2 years and like why I came to the decisions that I did and why I did everything the way that I did it and like what influenced me to take that step versus another step. And so, you know, I know it couldn't have been any other way, but also I think I'm just like, I can't believe I didn't see it. It was staring at me in the face this entire time. This entire time, it was staring at me in the face. Like, what does it mean to be Sharesparked? Why does it have to be Sharespark Media? You know, like, why can't that just be my tagline? Like, I'm HeatherJustCreate. Here's my shirt that's just Sharespark, you know? And what does that mean? Let me tell you. Because, I mean, we talk about this all the time, me and Tom. You can't tell somebody, hey, you need digital literacy. You need to be more digitally literate. You are digitally illiterate. Like no one's going to listen because no one wants to be told. No one wants to be told that. You know, it's really hard to be like, this is why you need to learn YouTube. Why? You know, why am I going to care? And so we talk about this thing called the head fake, where instead of telling someone that we're making them digitally literate, we just, you know, we don't even talk about it at all. We just share our stories, you know, like just look at what we're doing and whatever it takes for you to make that leap. That's all, you know, because when someone is Sharesparked, when someone is truly Sharespark. It's not that they know how to use all of these tools and they're as well versed as either me or Tom, you know, because Tom and I, like, even between the two of us, you know, both of us are probably like the epitome of being Sharesparked, right? But even our skill sets and our like tech savviness are completely different levels. Like, you should see, if you haven't checked out his vlog, I mean, it's a completely different level. Okay, not to say that his is better, mine is better, because that's not what it's about, but you could, it's just a different style, you know, like he uses Canon lenses and he has like perfect audio and lighting. And, you know, that's part of his background because he's been a photographer, like a professional photographer and videographer forever. And I haven't, you know, I grabbed whatever. I grabbed this camera that I had. I use my phone. I don't care about quality as much as he does. And so that's why it's not about like how much you know and having like, if you're Sharesparked, this is your skill set. You know, it's not like that. It's not like, you know, you go to med school and you've learned all of these things. It's not like that. Sharespark is you have created digital media. You've been empowered to create digital media. You already have a story to share. You're passionate about something, but you don't know, like, you're struggling with like, why should I share anything? Why would anyone want to follow me? I don't want people in my real life to judge me. I'm scared of putting myself out there. I don't know like how to even make a video. What does this mean? Like, all of those things are what holds you back, but it's not this like digital unsavviness, you know, like you can, when you're Sharesparked, you're willing to figure it out. You know, you're willing to once you're Sharesparked, you're willing to do the research, go on Google, go on YouTube, and figure out, how do I make a thumbnail? How do I put text on top of my videos? You know, how do I how do I use hashtags for Instagram? That's what it means to be Sharesparked. You know, look at James's channel. James, like, holy crap, man, he's surpassed me in subs and views forever ago, you know? And it all started with just this idea of his passion for freaking food, you know? Like, that's all it is. It's just his passion for food, and boom, he took it and he ran with it. And I'll tell you right now, every single time he had a question about digital media, you know, I want to say that I was like one of the first people that he asked. You know, and I specifically remember those conversations we had on GChat when he was first starting his channel, around the same time, like shortly after I was starting mine. And I was going through all these YouTube trainings and stuff like that. And I was like, here, dude, like, here's what I know. And like, it is an ongoing project to build a YouTube channel. You don't get viewership overnight, and you're willing to put in the time and the effort because you believe in your story and you believe that you have a voice and you want to connect with other people about it. That is Sharespark, you know? And no, like, not to say that my product or Sharespark is not catered to older people. It has nothing to do with age specifically, but I think that, you know, if we're trying to get like real practical in terms of like using Facebook ads and who I'm going to target, people who are specifically my age, born in 1985, because all me, Tom, James, and Cursa, all born 1985. There's something with this, you know, generation in that we grew up. We were there with the birth of the internet. You know, we were using AOL and trying to figure out what the heck is this dial-up, you know, and as the technology evolved, we were there. We were the first users of every single platform. To use all these digital media tools to connect in ways that had never been done in the history of humanity, you know? And because we grew up always thinking, you know, what is this app for? What is this iPod? You know, like you could put music on it. You don't need CDs anymore, because we figured we've just always grown up with like things changing. I think there's a natural, you know, like, not aptitude, but a natural willingness that isn't necessarily there for people who didn't grow up in that kind of environment, you know? And so I'm not saying that someone who's older wouldn't benefit from Zero to YouTube Hero, But I know for sure for my clients, like, you know, they're not going to care to take this class because they would rather just have me do it. You know, they would rather be like, Heather, this is great. Could you just like optimize all my videos for me? You know, like they're willing to pay me $250 an hour to do that just so they don't have to do it. You know, they're paying me to avoid being Sharesparked. And that's because their passion is their business and they're not about to like, you know, like start up this whole new thing. I'm going to be Sharesparked. I get it. I totally get it. So like I think back to conversations I had at WeWork. I think back to conversations I had with Sid, my mentor, Carissa, my accountability partner, like every person, we knew why Sharespark Media, why I was thinking of it in a certain way, you know, because we're thinking, you know, it's a business, you're an entrepreneur, you got to make money. Where's your model? And so that makes sense. It's like, you know, I bounced ideas like, you know, at first I wanted to, the very first thing I did was I took Sean Cannell's Video Ranking Academy class, which is basically how to use YouTube to make money. That's all it is. Okay. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted Sharespark Media to just, you know, crunch out content on there, tutorials, make a lot of money, generate a lot of views, AdSense, blah, 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 blah. But then like, it was more fun. It was more fun to share my story as like, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I love the fact that like, I'm admitting that, you know, and people are giving me advice and stuff. And I liked sharing that part. And so that was when the first thing, like, you know, divided. But from everyone around me, we have brainstormed till kingdom come about like, okay, Sharespark Media should be a media company and, you know, rent a space at WeWork so people can come in and pay you by the hour to use your equipment so that they can live stream on their channel and you can coach them and they can pay you more money, you know, based on how long you're going to coach them and blah, blah, blah. You're going to edit the videos for them and da, da, da. Like, yeah, you know, like I could do that. Sharespark Media could eventually be that, but like now it's time to just get real practical. It's just time to get real practical. And like, I don't even know who that audience is. The audience that would be willing to pay for studio time, because now you have to even explain, you need this, like you need to create content for your channel. I will provide the space. Like they're not even, it again goes back to like, you know what? I would rather pay you to just record, edit, and upload for me. I don't care to learn why I need to share my story. I just need to make money because I'm a business owner. You know, and now like the reason why I'm so focused on that is because when I split off or when I quit my job, I got hired to do social media marketing. And so that's why like that was the first thing I started out with. When I came up with the idea of Sharespark, it was for youth. I was working at a school. Like I wanted high school students were on YouTube. That's where I was going to start. But then when I quit my job, this client and this client were like, hey, can we hire you to do our social media marketing? Can you create content for us? Can you run our Facebook? You know, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh, that's where the money is. So I'm going to do more of that, you know? And that is how we have come to this point because of how it started from the beginning. All right. Let's see. Oh, I'm tuning in. Black girl entrepreneur. I think you're thinking too much into it. You can share all of your stories. It doesn't matter where you share it. Create a playlist and let your current following continue to support and grow. A playlist for Sharespark and a playlist for HeatherJustCreate. Best of both worlds. Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. So like Sharespark TV is still going to be a thing. It's just going to be its own playlist, you know, or Sharespark Media Tutorials still going to be a thing. It's just going to be a playlist. Like I could just see myself like explaining, like even when I was introducing myself, it's like I had to introduce two things, but now I could just be like, oh yeah, I have a channel where I'm documenting my entrepreneurial journey to promote digital literacy, you know, and the idea is Sharespark. share story, spark your potential, blah, blah. And I don't have to explain like, oh, so what does Sharespark do? How do you make money? Like straight up, I went to Tom's class and like talk in his classes and explain, you know, who I was. Cause, you know, I was like a guest speaker, and like one kid was straight up like, how do you make money? I was like, I don't know. You know, I mean, obviously I didn't explain it that way, but like, I don't know. Like, I never knew how Sharespark made money. I had clients, you know, but that's not even Sharespark. The clients thing, like, I need to take that out of my head. The clients thing is just, I should see it as if like these people are paying me to like, you know, I don't know, like do their gardening for them. You know, like I need to see it as something completely different that has nothing to do with being Sharespark, because, you know, they're not sitting there with me on a monthly basis, checking in, like learning, like, oh, why did you decide to post that picture for this picture? Like, they don't care. They just like take care of it because somebody needs to take care of it. So we could say that we're doing social media marketing, but they don't care like beyond that, you know? So I want to try to like split that out and take it out of the picture. Chill up chops, Black girl entrepreneur. I hear you, but that may backfire for Heather, as a Postmates video did. This is true. It can divide your audience and confuse potential audiences in my experience. James says, for sure, you were one of the first, and the same realization you made earlier. I feel like people just watch us for us, but they could probably care less about us eating. Exactly. Oh my God, James. See what I mean? It's like, you subscribe to the person. You know, it goes back to Casey and Beam. Like, Beam was his product. The whole reason why he even came up with vlogging in the first place was because of Beam. He wanted to document his journey in building Beam. And it was never gonna be, you know, people fell in love with Casey. That's the reason why you watch him. So like, why can't I have this idea? Like, my name is Heather, and I'm about sharesparking. And then people could be like, oh, what does that mean? Oh, share story, spark your potential, blah, 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 blah. And like go from there, you know? Black girl entrepreneur, true, but there are many big influencers who create different videos and people subscribe to them for what they prefer. I think it's possible if you do it the right way. James Lee, they want to see us get married, our life, us being a couple, etc. Exactly. I mean, going off of that, James, like, even that's why when I told Tom, like, you know, why create a third Sharespark Media thing if people are watching Tom for Tom, people are watching me for me? And that's like, if you're a subscriber to my channel, the only reason why you care about Tom is because I care about Tom, you know? And it's the same thing on Tom's channel. Like, we don't have necessarily the same audiences. So people who are subscribed to Tom, you know, they only know me because I am Tom's girlfriend. It's not just because of that. That's Heather, who has her own channel. You know, that's just an afterthought. And so, like, you know, wouldn't it be cool viewer who subscribed to me if they, you know, like, for it to be a true collaboration, like other YouTube collaborations work? Like, if you wanted to see, you know, if Casey's doing a vlog and then you see Sean Duras on a vlog, or Peter McKinnon, you're going to go to Peter McKinnon's vlog and be like, oh, Casey was there. That's cool. I want to see behind the scenes footage there. And then you see it from like his perspective, you know? And why create this other freaking thing that just seems so, like, it itself does not stand for anything, because it's nothing. It's just an entity. It's an idea, you know? There's no substance to it. I am the freaking substance. I'm the one who breathes life into it. Okay. Al says, I can barely reboot my computer. The Enthusiasm Project sneaking in here just to keep an ear on the conversation. I think that's what draws people to you. Carissa, sorry, was helping customers, but I missed the entire thing until now. We're just going to need to catch up later. James, but you have something special. Watching this stream makes me want to do something. I don't know what, but something. And that's what I'm talking about, James, because even like that, oh my God, that itself right there is like the magic, you know, because that just makes me more convinced that Sharespark, like the idea of it, needs to be a thing. Because even like the way that Tom started his presentation when he was like presenting to teachers in Sacramento about why he has a YouTube channel and like, you know, how he's like practicing what he preaches, which is digital media production. The first thing he said to his audience was like, I hope you leave here wanting to make something. I don't care what, but just that feeling of like, I need to go make something. Because that's Sharespark. It doesn't matter like what you're doing, you know. It's just like you're passionate about something. There's a passion that's like sparked within you, and you're willing to go figure it out. You don't know what it is, but you're just like, you see someone else doing it. You see someone else sharing their story, and see someone who looks like you, someone that you can relate to, and then you think like, you know what, I could do that too. I don't want to start from zero. Like I need someone to ask, you know. And that's where I come in. Like, you want to know how I did this or like how I am doing this? Like, here's a class where everything is just condensed into a beautiful, nice, logical course tied up with a bow. If you go through this whole thing, I promise you, you will know how to do what I do. Like, how cool is that? Like, boom. Why does it have to be so freaking complicated? Why do I have to make it this like, oh my God, it's going to be this media company with like all these things, you know, and I don't want to like, I had big goals. I was very optimistic and I still am, but being that I have $0, you know, and I just need to be really practical. Like VidCon is coming up. Tom and I are going to Switzerland and I don't have any budget to like, you know, for funsies. Like I have a product, I need to sell it. There's just reasons why, you know, it's not that Sharespark Media can't exist in the future or that it can't be a media company in the future or content creating company in the future, but just for now, like what is practical, what I'm able to do with the resources that I have. This to me makes the most sense. This to me, like, I don't know, I see it like, I see it just naturally falling into place in a way that nothing else really has. And so I don't know what that means in terms of like, I think what it means is like, I'm going to stop creating content for Sharespark. I had all of these, like, I had all of this content already scheduled to go out for Sharespark. And now I'm just going to freaking blast it on HeatherJustCreate, everything, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, the whole thing. It's all just going to be from HeatherJustCreate. And I'm not, no more Just Create More. You know, that's just going to be something I tell myself. It's already in my name, so I don't need that as my tagline. My tagline is going to be Sharespark, share your story, spark your potential. And even like, if you think about how the algorithms are changing, this is happening on both Instagram and YouTube. Well, probably all of them. But when you subscribe to a channel on Instagram, when you follow an account on, when you subscribe to a channel on YouTube, when you follow an account on Instagram, that doesn't mean that you're going to see every post that comes out from that account, right? That's why on both Instagram and YouTube, you have to hit the bell. You have to hit the bell in order to get every single thing that that account puts out. And so even if I were to just, you know, blast out all of this content on my one account, like HeatherJustCreate, I'm not going to inundate my current followers because most, you know, the ones that have hit the bell, they don't mind because they want to see everything that I've posted. But the way that the algorithms work, they're only going to see the stuff that the algorithm thinks they're most likely to like based on their previous activity. So like if you're subscribed to my channel and you don't have that bell hit, you're not going to like, even if I posted vlogs about boosted boards and vlogs about, you know, digital media tutorials and vlogs about me and Tom and Sharespark TV, blah, blah, blah. If you've never clicked on Sharespark TV stuff or boosted board stuff, you're not going to see that stuff because the algorithm, you know, it's calculating your behaviors and you're only going to be notified about videos that YouTube thinks that you're going to want to watch. So, I mean, that alone right there, you know, that's a recent feature update. So I couldn't have like come to that conclusion before. It was only until now. I was literally watching a video from Philip DeFranco about it this morning. And I think that just was part of it. Cause it's like, if I'm afraid to just completely overwhelm my subscribers and followers with a bunch of Sharespark content that they're not necessarily to be a problem because the way that the algorithms work, like it'll just naturally filter out, it'll naturally filter and deliver content that that specific follower or subscriber wants to see anyway. So it freaking doesn't even freaking matter, And then it's annoying because like I was creating these content clips on the Instagram, in the Sharespark Instagram, and there's no one watching. Nobody. Like 50 views, 60 views. I post the same thing on my channel and boom, like I can get up to 300 views on something. Why am I like making it so freaking hard? Why, man? Okay. Catching up. Black Girl Entrepreneur, oh my gosh, dial up. And chat rooms, the good old days, the Enthusiasm Project. Think of how many times over the last few months you've had vlogs on the shelf because you didn't think that you should focus on that. I admire the determination that you took, but I like you being happy. That's what I'm saying, man. Because like even Tom, I don't know if you're still here, the Big Bear vlog, like you still have some of my vlog clips on your phone, like, and I've been debating, okay, should I ask Tom for the Big Bear stuff? Like, but why? That's 4 hours. It's 4 hours for me to edit that vlog, to put it out on this channel, and to why. But now I can say any fun vlog, even the ones that aren't necessarily tutorials, it still demonstrates the idea of Sharespark. I'm still Sharesparking. So that's why like I don't have to think of it like, oh, that's not business related, or that's not like, education tutorial based. It doesn't matter because people are following me for my story. They want to see more of my life and they want to see like what I am freaking passionate about. You know what I mean, man? Al says, create new channel. Heather blows stuff up in her backyard. No, not a new channel, a new playlist. James says, yes, I tuned in for a bit for the 3D printing 36-hour live. Can you guess if I did for the 3D printing or for Tom? Exactly. Chill Up Chops. Black Girl Entrepreneur, I agree. Those big influencers do exist, but I wonder if the time they started on YouTube has anything to do with it. New variety channels seem to get buried often nowadays. Black Girl Entrepreneur, I don't know. That's a good point. Well, that's what I'm doing, so I guess I'll find out along the way. Trial and error for a small YouTuber, yes. The Enthusiasm Project, yes. Ask me for the Big Bear stuff. Oh, I have a headache. So here I am. Okay, so let me try to think of like what this means. Okay, I have a product to sell. Okay, HeatherJustCreate. This is my vlog channel where I'm documenting my entrepreneurial journey. See, I don't even have to say, and documenting my entrepreneurial journey and building Sharespark Media. So go out of your way to open up a new tab to go see what that even means. Like, it's all just going to be one. Okay. So what does that mean? Hi, I'm Heather. What is my story? My channel is going to be about entrepreneurship, digital media, and vlogs. And share your story, spark your potential, share spark. And that's it. And any tutorials that I come out with. So here, now I see how this is going to play out. That schedule I was going to come up with, that schedule I did come up with several times throughout the past 2 years, is just going to be on one channel. I feel so light even just thinking about it. So instead of like Tuesday's going to be the Sharespark Media channel and Thursday's going to be the freaking Facebook Sharespark, one channel. Thursday's going to be Sharespark TV. I don't know. Wednesday's going to be the vlog. Friday's going to be Heather's happy hour. Tuesday's going to be Tutorial Tuesday where I talk about, a tutorial. It's just all going to be on here. One channel, several playlists, one direction, all Sharespark. Oh, I feel good. It feels really good. Bye, James. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so that's that. Now, for Zero to YouTube here, I have this product, and I'm going to use Facebook ads, which is why I needed to come up with a target audience to target on Facebook ads. And I couldn't just be like, these people, like everyone in the United States of freaking America. I have these Post-its, and, I now have a target audience. It's basically someone who looks like me, Carissa, Tom, or James, 4 of us. And I'm going to start putting those ads out, and I'm going to frame it not like, do you want to start a YouTube channel? But like something that has to do with, I still have to figure out what the verbiage is going to be and like the wording, but something that had to do with like, because here's the one thing that like all 4 of us had in common was that we had uploaded a YouTube video before. We tried. We all had uploaded at least one YouTube video, but it was mainly to just share with people that we knew. So these aren't necessarily people who don't know how to make a video. They're not at 0 in terms of that. They're at 0 in terms of like, how do you use the YouTube platform as a creator and like that whole thing. So I need to just figure out how I'm going to word that. Chill Up Chop says, Heather, I think an angle you have is that you built an audience around you and not just by telling people how to do it. A gripe I have is many YouTube help channels don't have any success on YouTube elsewhere. Right. Yes. And not to like put Sean down, okay? Because Sean, like, Cannell taught me what I know, okay? Like, his class, straight up, if you want to take it, like, if you want to, like, really make money off of YouTube, I highly recommend his course, Video Ranking Academy. It's expensive, but worth it. But he has both channels, because I was doing research when I was trying to, like, come up with what I was going to pitch Tom. He has 2 channels. One's Think Media TV, which is, like, what he's known for. He's like this channel. It's a resource channel that'll teach you. You can go there for YouTube tutorials on how you can optimize your videos to make money off of YouTube. He also has his own personal Sean channel, but none of the videos on there are talking about his story. It's just like it's more search optimized videos about whatever, and so are mine. But like an example is, like, one of his most popular videos from forever ago is like gifts for men, for like Christmas gifts, or like, I don't know, like entrepreneur tips, and he's not really sharing like a day in the life the way that I do. And again, that's the advantage I think I have, because Sunny doesn't even do that. She did it one time like 2 weeks ago, and it was this huge deal. Like, oh my God, thank you for like sharing like this side of you, which is cool. Like I want more people to do that, because it shifts the entire culture of like being authentic through digital media. But I've been doing this from the beginning. That's been my spin since day one. And so I don't see why I'm not like, running with that. So, what else does that mean? I think it just means that like Sharespark, like I'm just not, I don't think I'm going to create content for it in the foreseeable future. So the YouTube channel will just sit there, the Instagram will just sit there, Facebook will just sit there, until like I'm in a position with more resources to start thinking about like, okay, what's the next step? But in terms of like establishing a foundation, like I need to create a thing, like a system that generates money before I start like breathing life into this other thing. Like I already have life, like there's life here. So I need to just go with this and just like keep feeding this and like going with this before doing this other thing. And I don't know, I feel so like I want to like, I kind of want to ask, I kind of want to go back to like my WeWork days and be like, this is my new revelation. What do you guys think? You know, and it's just I was so convinced that it had to be a certain way, so it feels wrong to be like, you know, I definitely don't think that anything was wasted, but it just feels, I don't know. I don't know. But also, like, I've gotten to this point because I've trusted my instinct from day one. You know, I learned slow, but I still like get to a point where I like, you know, learn something. Black girl entrepreneur, got to clock out from work. Bye everyone. Heather, you got this, boo. Just create. Thank you, Peach. See you later. Kevin, hi. You totally missed my entire cry sesh for like the past hour. I'm stopping Sharespark. It's gonna just hang out there, and I'm just gonna focus on HeatherJustCreate. Actually, let me ask you, Kevin, if you're still there, what do you think about doing a Facebook ad about Zero to YouTube Hero on the HeatherJustCreate Facebook page versus the Sharespark Media page? What do you think about that? Because you're you know, you do this too. You have Hunter, but you also have Kevin, right? So I think for your case, it makes sense to do Hunter. But for my case, do you see why I'm shifting that way? Because the reason why I'm even doing this live stream is because I was trying to create the Facebook ad, and I was like, oh, what account do I put it on? HeatherJustCreate or Sharespark Media? And then I was like, what is Sharespark Media even? You know, I could just imagine someone like seeing the ad and they click and like, what do they see? There's nothing to see there. You know, like even with Carissa, we were talking about this on an Empowered Entrepreneurs episode we did on Facebook this week. She was even saying like, you need to do something with your progress party video, your video where you summarize your entire past 2-year journey into one video. Cause she even said like, even watching it on the crappy projector, like I was crying, you know, like that right there. I understand what you mean when you say share your story, spark your potential because of that video. So if you were to see the ad, Zero to YouTube Hero, you click on HeatherJustCreate, you see that video. Now you know what I mean. Like you can see a product of my own course, you know, is that video. Whereas if you went on Sharespark, it's like, what is this? Like more tutorials. Okay, cool. Like, Kevin says, your name has equity. Sharespark is still building. HeatherJustCreate has a face, and Sharespark is still building reputation. So I think it's a good idea for you to market yourself for Zero to YouTube Hero. And maybe call the instructional program Sharespark, Zero to YouTube Hero, so that you have the messaging, but also keep the name. There you go. You heard it here first. I have such a headache. So that's where we're at. Man, I'm just thinking about like my to-do lists that I have like posted on I have all these post-its like behind here, and I have like a whole like to-doist list, and I have papers everywhere, and I'm just like, wait, what am I doing? Kevin says, don't worry, things like this happen. It's just a realignment. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely realigning. So you're already there, just need more adjustments. Oh, yeah. So here's like to set up the stage for whatever the next video is that I'm going to post. This is what I'm going to do after this. I'm going to create a Facebook ad that targets this new target audience. And I'm going to try to sell Zero to YouTube Hero. That's where I'm at. Another big decision that I was going to talk about in a vlog, but I'll just talk about it all here, is that there was an exclusive Facebook group for the students of Zero to YouTube Hero, but I'm actually just going to make that a public group. So anyone who has a potential of being Sharespark can join that. And then that's supposed to cultivate customers, like potential customers, to take the full course, Zero to YouTube Hero. But yeah, so that's another big change, because that was a huge part of like what people were paying for in the course. But right now it's like, since I'm still trying to get students to even enroll, there's not a lot of activity. There's no activity happening in the Zero to YouTube Hero Facebook group. So I would rather, like, I want there to be a group so that if James, Tom, or Carissa has a question, they can go to that group, and then like other people can benefit from seeing the question and then seeing the answers, and other people can chime in. And then like, if you want to know more, or if you want to like, you know, take the course, here it is. So yeah. You have something really special here. In all honesty, the messaging that you believe in, what you were trying to set out to do for Sharespark. This is HeatherJustCreate. Yeah. I know. It's just like, I think realigning to refocus on you just hones the aim of your program. I agree. So, yes. Oh, I'm like cooling down now. So, that's what I'm going to do the Facebook ad. And then I guess my next video will probably be like, here's how it's been. Cause like with Facebook ads, my understanding from Kevin is like, you know, I could do the ad today and people will start seeing it today. So, the thing I need to figure out is just like, I want to go onto the sales page of Zero to YouTube Hero. So you can go to the sales page, zerotoyoutubehero.com. And I created the sales page just like not knowing what I know now, like not having this laser eye focus of like who my target audience is. So I want to go back to that page and just like reword it and just make sure that the lingo really speaks to the people that I'm trying to target. Once I do that, then I'll create the Facebook ad, and that's going to be really key, because that little one line of text is either going to convince someone to click or not. So I really need to think about what that's going to look like. And then I'll make the Facebook ad and then just go. So that's where I'm at. Kevin says, because I don't believe many influencers have that goal. You do. The Enthusiasm Project says they don't, Kevin. What gives Heather such crazy leverage? Oh, that's what gives Heather such crazy leverage, I think. Yeah, see, so then why don't I just go off of where the leverage is, rather than just why does Sharespark Media have to be a thing? Like, why can't it just be a movement? You know? It's like, I don't know if this is okay, the Enthusiasm Project. This is like the equivalent, right? You have the Enthusiasm Project. It would be like creating a company for work hard, be kind, and have fun. Why? You know, like that's just what you stand for. You know, and you live and breathe that, and all of your content surrounds that. So why can't why can't that be my thing? Like, this is what I stand for. Sharesparking. It's just this idea of like, you know, there's this potential in digital media and like sharing your story online and connecting with others. Like, that's what I stand for. You know, it doesn't have to be a company. I don't know. Like, what does it even sell? Oh man. Kevin says we need more people promoting meaningful content. Emphasis on meaningful. Agreed. Yeah. I know. Yes. So that's where I'm at. That is where I'm at. Oh, I have such a headache. So I just have like tissues covering all of this. I just want to see like what else I wrote to make sure that I said everything. Oh yeah, because even like when I was thinking back to when HeatherJustCreate had a lot of momentum. I started getting a lot of momentum when, like, definitely around Postmates. Shortly after that, I moved into WeWork. Shortly after that, I got my boosted board, and that kind of just like ramped like this upward trajectory. But even those people, like how many of those people went out of their way to go open up a new page and check out Sharespark? You know, it's like they're following me for me. And even when I was pitching other entrepreneurs that I met at WeWork, like, you know, the admiration that they had, I'd like to think, you know, I'm trying to be as objective about this as possible, but I feel like when people were interested in hearing what I did, the thing that piqued their interest was that I share my story online. You know, is that because we're all entrepreneurs. Everybody at WeWork is like an entrepreneur, you know, so for them to see someone convey the same things that they go through, just, you know, this is what I'm like, my version of it. Like, that's the thing that they were like, wow, like, that's, you know, people would say, they would describe me as brave, which I don't consider myself brave for doing this. It's not about bravery. It's just, but if they see that in me, what's the difference? You know, it's because they're not Sharespark than I am, you know? So like the idea of Sharespark, they get, but it always came back down to like, so how does Sharespark make money? You know, and I never answer and could never have an answer. I never did. So, Kevin says, oh, sure. In the flood of social media, nobody realizes that we're spreading messaging, and content creators have a kind of effect to indirectly educate people. Chill Hop Chop says, I agree, Kevin. Meaningful sharing changes lives too. Thank you for this live stream, Heather and Tom. This feels like old school HeatherJustCreate. This is why I followed you for so long. See, it's because I am sharing my story, right? And I could have easily just been like, you know what, Tom, we'll talk about this when you get home. And it just doesn't get put out there. But this whole thing, this live stream of me working through an issue, working through a eureka moment, feedback, like this is the story that I share. You know, like this is my unique thing. So why don't I? Al says you need to start a no digital retard left behind movement on here, Al, and you tune in all the time. You're not as digitally illiterate as you think. And I'll tell you right now, you know, I have met way more people who are like, they're not even on YouTube. They don't even know they don't even know anything. So you're not a digital retard, as you have said. Kevin says, there's a noble and powerful goal at the heart of this. So although there will be challenges along the way, the edge and the uniqueness is there. Yeah. And the more that I can hone in on the substance, that meaning, you know, my story, just the more that I can hone in on that. I think also just being surrounded by other entrepreneurs and seeing the success stories of like Teachable, for example. Okay, Teachable is the online course platform that I'm using for Zero to YouTube Hero. And every single, like, I don't know, 3 times a week, we get an email of some success story for a Teachable teacher who has built this online course, is now making like 6 figures, you know, selling courses, but all of them have to do with like helping people make money. It's all like money driven. And, you know, that's great. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's the way the landscape is right now for online courses and entrepreneurship, because of digital media, there is a lot of that. There's a lot of like, let me show you how to live this lifestyle. Let me show you about the hustle and, you know, making all this money and money and making money online. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm not trying to make you money. You know, if Zero to YouTube Hero was about trying to get the students to make money, it would be completely different. Like, totally, it would be Video Ranking Academy. Like, there would be no reason for me to create it because Sunny already is selling that, and so is Sean. Like, that product already exists, you know? And why anyone would want to like pay to be Sharespark, I don't know, but I could tell you that that's what I wanted. And I thought that that's what Sean's class was, you know, like if I had to pick between me personally, thinking back to when I started this journey in the beginning, if I had seen my promo video for Zero to YouTube Hero or Video Ranking Academy, 100% for what I was trying to do, I would have picked Zero to YouTube Hero because it's about the story that I'm sharing. Like, that was more important to me. I was seeing how Casey was doing it, and I wanted to do that. You know, Casey isn't about like, look, I'm a millionaire because of, you know, my vlog. His whole thing is creating. You know, he's the one who introduced me to the concept of creating and sharing your story and connecting with others. Like, a lot of that was inspired by him, and it wasn't like, here's how you make YouTube videos and, you know, racking the checks. Like, that's just not. It is a very intimidating and scary thing. I know that it took me forever to finally announce to the world, Kevin, you're a perfect example. I showed you my first vlog and you laughed at me, you know, like, no offense. I know we're past that, but like that's who I'm trying to target, is the people who are scared to be like, is this what a vlog is? Like, what do I share? Back to like James's first mukbangs, like they're on a completely different level than they are now. But I remember him like just being so unsure of like, is this what I'm doing? And that's the beauty of it, is that you just kind of figure it out and you figure out your own style as you create more. Just create more. And eventually you develop your own channel, you know, and your own, like, you become your own story, you know, like, you just breathe that to life by creating content. And that is what Zero to YouTube Hero sells. So it's definitely not for everybody, but I want to target the people that it's for. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The enthusiasm product. Are you still there? Because I could just kill another 20 minutes and wait for you to get home and just stay on this stream. But, oh man, woo. I was not expecting this. I totally thought I was just gonna, like, you know, head in the paperwork and just do this, but this was enlightening. This is definitely a chapter, a new chapter. And like, you know, clearly from my reaction to my own eureka moment, it's pretty significant. And I'm still trying to like wrap my head around repercussions and consequences and new directions and stuff. Oh man. Chill Hop Chop says, I remember when your channel was flooded by that make money now type of audience, and they are a fickle bunch. The desperation was a breeding ground for toxic comments, hate, etc. Right? Like, my Postmates video, I love Postmates. I still believe in the company and like what they sell. I you know, okay. I'm annoyed at Postmates because I felt like they really had an opportunity to contact me as a content creator and, you know, be a micro influencer for them. So I'm kind of like annoyed that they never did that. Because then I started to see commercials of like Dave Franco and stuff. And I'm like, really? Like, you're completely missing the digital media trends that are happening. But anyway, my Postmates videos still get watched like every single minute. There's someone watching my Postmates videos, and it's seriously, I'm not even gonna lie, Like, it's carrying my channel. It's the thing that constantly gets me subscribers every single day. And I know that, you know, based on the questions that I still get, like someone was still asking me yesterday, when am I going to get my, you know, card, my Postmates card? And people, I'm like, I'm not customer service, dude. Like, I don't work for Postmates. I'm a vlogger. But it did bring me a lot of people. And I, you know, someone found that video and watched my progress party video. And then they were like, oh, I'm thinking about starting my own thing too. You've inspired me to do that. But how did you make money in the meantime as you were like building your business? Those people, like, you know, I'm glad that they find me. I don't care how you find me. Like, I'm glad that they were able to like find my story. They see how I'm doing it. They want to do something similar. And then they, you know, they're asking me questions. It's a very legitimate question, because that's what I would have done. If Casey didn't have millions of subscribers when I was watching him, I would have been like, hey, dude, like, I have this idea. Do you think it's good? You know, you just want someone, like, you already know the answer. You kind of just want someone to push you in the right direction. But there were also a lot of people that were just, you know, it's all about the quick buck. And it was so annoying because it brought in a bunch of people that like would, you know, that didn't care about my story at all. But whatever, that's the nature of YouTube. So let's see. Daniel SPR. This is Danielle with a changed avatar. I found you that way, although now I've given up on them. Proxlime, what's up? Daniel, I was the Facebook moderator for Houston Postmates, and I always got questions as if I was the supervisor. The Enthusiasm Project, speaking of quick bucks, I'll be home in a few. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to stay live and then wait for Tom to get home. So we could, you know, Tom is my boyfriend, my business partner, and someone that I respect and admire and lean on very much. So, you know, I have a feeling that he's been tuned in this entire time, but I really want to know what he thinks, because, you know, we only had the like 5 minutes to talk. And I want to document that on my YouTube channel, since that's what I do. Proxlime, still doing Postmates, kind of sucks, but need the money. Yeah. Actually, money is so tight for me this month that I told Tom that if I don't make a substantial amount of money by April 15th, then I'm going to go back to Postmates. Like, literally, we just had that conversation yesterday. So I might be returning. Danielle says Uber Eats is better. Well, we'll see. So anyway, I'm trying to come back to like, oh, I could do this while we're waiting for Tom to get home. But basically I reflected on the past 2 years, because I wanted, as I was coming up with the idea of like, okay, no more Sharespark Media, I wanted to make sure that I knew why I did everything the way that I did up until this point, because I don't ever want to feel like I did it wrong, or that I could have done it better, or, you know, like, I don't want to feel like I regret anything. And I definitely don't. I don't feel that at all. But that's why I wrote it down, because I wanted to remind myself, like, you know, it's not that you didn't know what you were doing. It's not that, you know, you were advised to do the wrong thing. You know, nothing wrong happened. There's a reason for everything. And I just wanted to remind myself of the reasons. So I'm just going to walk you through this. I know this live stream is super long, but whatever. This is a big freaking deal. Like, this is vlog number 191. Like, this is the one I'm going to remember. reflecting back on my journey 6 months from now, I'm going to be like, vlog number 191. That was the day where Sharespark Media, like, this has been my baby. This has been the thing. I've never cared about anything as much as I have Sharespark Media. Like, this is literally my baby. It's the thing that I quit my job for. I dedicated my entire life. My entire life changed. Every single dollar I spent went to Sharespark Media. So for me, like, it's a pretty significant thing. And I just want to share as to like why I'm now doubling back on that and doing something different. Really quick, Kevin says, I think everything's happening as it should be. It's helping you learn and lead up to something. Yes, agreed. So let's start from the beginning. Here we go. Ready, set, go. Background. Okay. How did I come up with the idea of Sharespark in the first place? There's a ton of like little different things in my life in the past like 30 years that led to me coming up with the idea. But primarily what happened was that I was working at a high school as the communications and marketing manager. And I was walking around with my phones and my laptop, and I was always doing like digital media stuff, naturally, because a lot of the marketing I did was digital media related. But then that, the kids always saw me on their phone. And then like, I came up with the idea of starting a school Snapchat. And so they were like, oh, you know a lot about social media and digital media. And they started asking me questions about like, how do I start a YouTube channel? Just stuff like that. And I was like, why isn't there a class on this? It's just seems so bizarre that all of us are on digital media every single day. And the message that they get at schools, students, is to get off of their phones. Like, that seems wrong to me. I felt like, rather than just tell them to get off their phones and that the phone, social media addiction and technology addiction and all of these like horrible things, rather than just abstinence, I felt like, could we at least educate students how to use these tools that they are going to use as, right when they get home, or like the tools that you use and the tools that like all of us use. And so while I was still working, I came up with a social media literacy curriculum, and I worked alongside the journalism teacher, because, a lot of it had to do with like, how do people craft stories through digital media? And so she was also the photography teacher. So she had a lot of like background that I just didn't know. And with our powers combined, we came up with this curriculum. We pitched it to the board of directors. They approved it. And I was all set to go to have a social media literacy class for, I think, the juniors that next coming year. Then what happened? Well, ish hit the fan at work. Let's put it that way. And I had this idea. So I ended up quitting my job. And people don't know this. I don't think I ever really talked about it on my vlog, because I don't want to, there's people involved that I don't want to like put them down, but I didn't quit primarily to start Sharespark Media. I quit because I didn't like the environment I was in. And it just so happened that I had the idea of Sharespark Media, that I was like, oh, well, before I go look for another job, because at the time when I quit, opportunities came to me right away. Like, someone was like, oh, this person's hiring. This person needs your skill set. So I quit my job thinking that maybe finding a job wasn't going to be that difficult, since I had networked so much and people in like the community knew what I did. And I was like, I'm just going to take this time to try to figure out Sharespark. And it was because I had worked with a student at the school whose name is Tom. He's been on the channel before, but he was like a 7th grader at the time. And we started the media club, and it was basically to teach digital media literacy to the students. What happened? So in that process, Tom helped me come up with the idea of Sharespark, and so did another student named Christopher. And I was like, okay, we came up with the idea of Sharespark, and it was this YouTube channel that was supposed to, show high school students how to positively and productively use digital media. Because like one example was that there was this kid at the school who was like pretty much a pro skateboarder. He still is, you know, like he skateboards just every single day, every single night. That's all he does. And he makes really cool skateboarding videos. And so I was like, dude, you should be putting that on YouTube. Like, you know, even if you don't plan to be a pro skateboarder, just understanding that like you are an online presence, you are a personal brand, you have this skill set of editing videos that every, you know, instead of working at the mall, you could be making videos for your summer job, whatever. And then also I came up with the idea of like, you know, why aren't we telling the juniors to make freaking LinkedIn profiles, you know, because college representatives are on there and they're trying to like be discovered by college reps. Hello, use like, who doesn't Google their candidates? Who doesn't Google their applicants? Like everybody does. So I was like, we need to teach the students to like, you know, make LinkedIn profiles. So it's this whole thing. That was Sharespark Media. When I quit my job, boom, I was like, I'm going to pursue this full time. I don't know what it's going to mean, but I don't know. That's what I'm going to try to figure out. And I had like a couple $1,000, like, I don't know, $6,000 to start. Like, that's just how much money I had. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go till the money runs out. All the while documenting my entrepreneurial journey through vlogs on YouTube. And I started documenting my journey of building Sharespark Media. I had quit my job already, but because of my contract, I needed to stay or 90 days, whichever came first. So I stayed for like a while, even though I was already documenting my journey. Like, you know, my first vlogs, like I got 22 days before I don't have a job. So yeah. Now the first shift, okay. When I quit my job and I was building Sharespark Media, the first thing that happened was word got out that I quit. And so my network, my professional network, immediately was like, social media marketing, we need you. And so all these people, like, I'm not trying to brag, this is just literally what happened. All these people were like, we want to hire you. Can we hire you as a consultant? Can we hire you as a 1099? You know, we need your skill set. Our organization needs social media marketing. We need content creating, blah, blah, blah. And so like, because I had just quit my job, I just was thinking about money. I was like, here are these clients who are willing to pay me for my skill set. I just quit my job. I don't have any money coming in. And so I think a lot of my initial brainstorming for Sharespark was so money driven because that's just like that's what I was just surrounded by, you know? So like if the client had a question about like, how can I do social media marketing? Then that's what I made. Like, that's the content I made on Sharespark. And the whole youth thing and like, you know, the idea that it was supposed to be for high school students, that all just phased away because I was like, money, money, money. We're a business. We need to make money. Kids don't have money. So I need to just go where the money is. And that was shift number one. That's when I learned my first big lesson. Well, there was a ton of lessons just in like starting a business in the first place. But one of the big things that I learned was that no one was going to care about Sharespark the way that I cared about Sharespark, period, you know? And like, I learned it from so many clients. Like, I didn't know about you hire clients, you know, I just was chasing the money. I was completely new at this. And so I was just like, oh, you're willing to pay me money? Okay. You're willing to pay me money? Okay. And I didn't realize, like, are they even a good client? Like, is that a client that you want to work with? I didn't think of, you know, and I didn't know that, you know, because, you know, there's some clients that I was able to work with. There's a spectrum of them. There's some of them that like, they are digitally completely illiterate, but they're willing to be coached, you know, and they're willing to like check in with me. Like Sid's a perfect example of that. He was a client, my mentor, Sid. Some of you guys know him. He's been on the channel several times, but he was a perfect example of that. He found me when I was doing the Chamber of Commerce. And he was like, I'm going to hire you. Show me how to do this. Show me what you know. Like, how did you learn all this? I want to do this too. And we did weekly sessions, you know, and in exchange, he was teaching me about entrepreneurship and business. So it was great. It was perfect. And that's that. But then there's clients that like, I don't care about learning this. I just need someone to do it. Don't explain it to me. All of this, you know, ish goes over my head. I don't understand any of this technology. I just know that we need to do this because everyone is saying so. Those were the clients that like frustrated me to kingdom come, that I wish I hadn't worked with. But still it was a learning experience. So, you know, I mean, that's when I was just like, okay, not everyone wants to be Sharesparked, and that's totally fine, but I need to focus. Like, these people who are willing to give me money, they don't care. Like, they don't care about Sharespark. They only care about their business. That's it. Sharespark is just a means to an end, you know? And like, I realized that. Let's see. That's when I came up with the idea of HeatherJustCreate, because I started getting really discouraged and, oh, I'm not doing it right. Then I was like, just create more. HeatherJustCreate. That was August of 2016. Meanwhile, I continued to vlog, document my journey. I was just trying to experiment. I remember at that time, that summer, 2016, that's when live streaming became a thing. That's when Facebook Live came out. That's when YouTube Live came out. I vividly remember my first Facebook Live. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? You know, I was live streaming from 2nd Street in Long Beach, and I was just like, I have no idea what I'm doing. People are tuned into me live. I'm like carrying them in my hand. Like, what does that mean? Now we don't care. I'm live streaming. You see live streams all the time. It's not a big deal. But back then, like, to go live was just so scary. But I needed to know how to do it for Sharespark, you know? Then fall of 2016, money dries up. Okay. Like, I had invested all of these things into starting a business. I was starting to get to the point where I wasn't going to be able to pay rent. Postmates, what's up? I was working at a co-working space in Long Beach, and the Postmates rep was there. Like, he was also renting space from that space. And I would pass him every single day, and I just see this huge line of Postmates people wanting to sign up for Postmates. No, I had no idea. No one knew what Postmates was at that time. And then once a month, he had an onboarding session, because this is how they used to do it back then, was if you wanted to sign up to be a Postmate, you had to attend an orientation in person, and then you signed up there, and that's where you got your PEX card and like your Postmate shirt and stuff like that. And every day I'd be like, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Like, I don't need to do that. Like, you know, I'm too good for that. Like, I'm not that desperate. I'm not going to deliver food to people, like, blah, blah, blah. And so it was this whole thing. It was this whole thing of like whether I should do Postmates or not. I actually did a public speaking thing about this entire story of me wrapping my head around like, hey, if you do Postmates, it's not an embarrassing thing. It's just showing how dedicated you are to continue your journey, you know, that you're going to do this as a side hustle, you know? So that was Postmates. But still, like, you know, as I was doing Postmates, I have no idea. Like, I don't even know what I was thinking for Sharespark, but I was still just like, Sharespark Media, it needs to be a thing. Then next chapter, that December, I moved into WeWork in Long Beach, and that was a huge thing. Like, that changed freaking everything, you know, and Postmates was like the first thing that kind of like bumped my channel up.
Here. I'm reusing the balloon.
Oh my gosh.
Let's see, can read it.
So here's Tom. If you don't know who he is, he was the guy who was on the live stream when we first started. Here. Oh, can you sit on this? I gotta be on that side. Sorry, size volume.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you.
I'm telling my story, and then we can.
I know, I was listening.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then I moved into WeWork. I was surrounded by people who were ideas people, business people, entrepreneurship people. And it was just the first time in my life first time on this journey where as a journey, I felt so alone that I was actually surrounded, you know, by all different kinds of people that were on a similar journey as me. And so that was life-changing for me. It was reassuring for me. And like, I needed that. I'm so thankful for that WeWork chapter, but it also made me think like, you know, how did WeWork have an impact on Sharespark Media? Well, everyone that I pitched Sharespark, like, you know, because when you introduce yourself, happy hours or like, you know, the networking events that they had, or just even like seeing people in the hallway, they would be like, oh, so who are you and what do you do? And everyone was always like, not more interested necessarily in HeatherJustCreate and my vlog channel and me sharing my story, but that was what they understood. And they understood Sharespark as the idea of like me doing that. Because then their next question was always like, but how are you making money? And that was the question I can never answer. But also, yeah, anyway, okay. Then I started doing vlogs, interviewing other entrepreneurs. And I started collaborating with like influencers through WeWork and stuff. And I'm like looking back at it, I'm like, that was just all Sharesparking. It was just highlighting how it was Sharesparking people who couldn't really do it for themselves because I don't know. So I was like, hey, Tom, what's up? Tell me about you. And like, blah, blah, blah. See, like that was me like sharing their story and then sparking their potential, hopefully. Then as I started to learn more about influencers, can you scoot over?
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt because it's your thing. So I was like, I'll go sit
then I started to learn about other influencer or like influencer, like the idea of an influencer. And that helped me to discover Patreon. Okay. And Patreon was this thing, you know, I was going to like, I initially set up my Patreon to be very like, I needed to sell something. So every single level that you paid for, I didn't think of it. At that point, I didn't see myself as an influencer. I still saw myself as like a consultant. So when you signed up for any of the Patreon levels, it was still like you were getting something out of it in terms of like, you know, you signed up at this level, you get one-on-one coaching with me for an hour every month or like something like that. I didn't see myself as like, these are my fans who are just supporting my journey. Then I eventually like redid my entire Patreon structure, but basically came up with the idea. Oh yeah, that's also when I came up with the idea of creating Sharespark as a media company because I was at WeWork and I was like, I could just rent one of these spaces, get all the camera gear that's needed for someone to record videos and just have them like rent the entire space per hour. You know, like, you know, make your vlogs, you don't have a nice camera or you don't know how to live stream, just pay me an hour and I'll let you use the space, use the equipment, and I'll show you how to do it. And so that's kind of where we ended. And then also that's, oh my God, I went to VidCon and that was a whole thing. And then the next chapter was I met this guy, August 2017. And it was the first time in my life that I had met someone who understood digital literacy in a way that I didn't even have to explain. I mean, not only did he understand it, but he had a successful business model that was Sharesparking people that like worked, you know, through his class. Like he had created the curriculum from scratch. It's a whole 4-year program, UC approved, that has funding. Like it's just this whole thing. And I was just like, how is this a thing? It's bizarre. It's crazy. Because that's like, if I think back to day one, like that's what I wanted to create at the school I was working at. So it was truly life-changing to meet this guy. We came up with the idea of Sharespark TV, and that's when I thought of that opportunity as a way to monetize Sharespark Media. That became the thing. Like, okay, we're going to have a live show. Facebook Live is a huge thing right now. Facebook Watch, and we're going to get sponsors. I was being influenced by Talk the Thrones, which is a live show that's about Game of Thrones and stuff like that. I was like, we're going to get sponsorships and blah, blah, blah. But as Tom said earlier, I don't know why I never truly put like the effort into marketing it to my fullest. But even then, like what is my fullest? I've been marketing 022 here to my fullest, and it's still like not.
I think that was, you were gonna lean a lot on like network connections and stuff, like bring in other people who would then help, and it was like you were hesitant to
I was waiting for something.
You're waiting for something.
I was waiting for something, but I couldn't even tell you like what I was waiting for. It just like I would have done it if I felt that it was right, but I didn't. So I don't know why. And in the meantime, we fell in love.
Mm.
So, one of the things, and we've talked about this a lot, not in the beginning, but like with Sharespark TV, there was not enough emphasis on the how. It was a lot on the why. And like digital literacy is so important. And this is why. And, you know, this is the impact it's having, but it wasn't, or digital illiteracy.
We were kind of marveling at like what is
so
capable,
cool,
which is cool. And I think that was a good way to start it, to marvel at it. So that way it's like, this is what we're talking about and why, but we didn't dive into the, like the applicability, the practice versus the theory.
Yes. And then we fell in love, and then everything kind of just came to a halt. But a lot of that, again, was what I mentioned earlier, was like, I mean, I would tell him all the time, I'm like, I'm so sad that I'm not sharing every single moment of this story, because it's the most thing, it's like under Sharespark, it's the thing I'm most passionate about. It's the thing that's had the biggest impact on my life. But I felt like it wasn't appropriate because it wasn't Sharespark. It wasn't business. It wasn't entrepreneurship. It wasn't digital literacy. It just was me falling in love, you know? And I'm so sad to this day that I didn't like talk more about it, because I think that would have been a cool story to share on my channel. So only you know.
Oh, well, it's kind of nice.
But so then it was like, so what's the next step? And that's when Tom was like, you've been talking about Zero to YouTube Hero for like years. Just do it. Like, do it, you know, like, why aren't you doing it? Set a date and do it. And so I did. And now fast forward till today, Zero to YouTube Hero is finished. It's a thing. It's a product.
It's real good.
It's awesome.
It's real good. Like, it is real good.
And it's got a sales page and a promo video and blah, blah, blah. But then, like, you know, to exactly today before I started this stream, it was like, okay, I'm going to do the Facebook ads for it. But do I do it on HeatherJustCreate or Sharespark Media? Which that's when I was like, why have I've never thought about not doing Sharespark Media at all. And so I just sat there and thought about it for a second. And then I was thinking about the video we saw of Casey just this morning. I was thinking about Sean and Sunny, who we've been talking about a lot. And I just was like, well, how are they doing it? Why am I doing it this way? Like, I don't understand. And then that's when I wrote this out. I texted Tom. I was like, I think I'm coming up with this crazy idea. I need to talk to you right now. I'm going to try to write down my thoughts. Then he like,
can I go get my phone? Cause I want to read or you have yours, but I want to read your texts to me. Cause you know, this is like during passing periods where I can like check my phone and be like, what? I'm just going to read Heather's to me. Oh gosh, there were a lot. It's your phone. Do you have free time today? Oh, here we go. Heather said,
what time is this at?
This is 9:27 this morning. You said to me, I think I have a huge update for you, like about a decision for Sharespark. Do you have free time today at all? And I said, I always have time for you. My lunch is at 12:20. And you said, you probably can't go live. I think I figured it out, but I want to run it by you. I'm like, go crazy because I think I figured it out. And then I said, you cracked the code. Yes, I figured it out. The whole thing, you're going to be a little reluctant, but that's why I want to run it by you. And then I was like, what is that going to be about? And then I was like, I'm excited. Can you tell me anything now? And you said, I'll walk you through the thing from the beginning. But I want to live stream.
What was I supposed to tell you?
Well, yeah. And he said, this is a pretty significant decision, so I want it to be documented. It's taking everything to stop me from making a vlog about it because I feel really good. I want to run it by you, so it's not an impulsive whim. It was just the like, it was like bullet texting of like.
I was like shaking. I was like, oh my god. Like I didn't even know, because at that point I hadn't even written it down. So it was just this feeling of like, I think I found the direction, but I don't know what it means. And I was just like shaking. And then like clearly, you know, when we jumped on the live stream, I just started crying. And I was like, why am I crying? I don't know. It's just so like, okay, so I have to pee.
Okay.
So can you just entertain my audience for a second?
All right, I'll get up and just gonna do a dance. All right. So Oh, did she go in the bathroom? Okay, she's in there now. I have a thing that I need to confess to her, which is that I feel I kind of failed. I'm hoping she can't hear me too much in the bathroom, but I feel like I sort of failed Heather a bit because we had these discussions so much where like I would be sitting on the couch and she'd be pacing back and forth talking about her ideas for Sharespark. And the big thing was always, do I post it here or do I post it here? And I was always like, well, it's very clear. If you're doing something business related, it's super clear, then it's Sharespark. If it's personal, then it's... But she like was not getting that idea. And I had the thought in my head of, why are you doing both? And I never spoke that because I was scared that it was gonna like, oh, here she comes. Anyway, so boy, Heather's super great. I'll tell her these things, but I want to like, I don't want her to walk in the middle of it. Cause I think, cause that was something where I was like, oh man, I feel in my job as the person to provide support and help and feedback that I sort of failed on a big thing where I had a thought and I just kept it to myself because I thought it wasn't what she would want me to think. Hello. We were talking about how I failed you. Well, actually, I was talking about how you failed me. Wait, Kevin said it's not my fault, so it's okay.
Wait, what?
So here's the confession. I was thinking about this all day when we started talking. Ben is right here. You can see his nose.
Hi, Ben.
I was thinking about this all day and I was debating. I feel like I messed up as your person that's supposed to provide you feedback. And I really, because...
What's happening?
Well, no, I did mess up before today. Because I literally don't know how many days where I was like sitting on the couch and you're like burning a hole in the carpet, pacing back and forth, like, do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do this? Do I do that? And it was always like, do I post this here? Is this a Sharespark thing? Is this a HeatherJustCreate thing? And I was always like, felt like I was oversimplifying it by going like, well, you know, if it's a clear business thing, if it's a tutorial, if it's a polished thing, then it's Sharespark. If it's kind of messy and working through it and personal, then it's HeatherJustCreate. And that always seemed clear to me, but you were like, you never latched onto the idea.
No.
Ever, at all. And I was always like, am I not explaining this clearly? It seems so simple to me. But the thought I had while doing those things, which I had the thought and then I suppressed it because I just thought it wasn't a helpful thing to say. It wasn't what I should say. I felt like wrong for thinking of, which was, why are you doing both?
Why didn't you just say something?
Well,
what happened to communication?
I know, that's why I confessed it to the strangers and Kevin.
Oh. I mean, I needed it organically come to this on my own.
Well, because Sharespark was your baby, and that was the square peg we were trying to force into that round hole of like, this is the thing that we're building. It's the business entity. It's what you quit your job to do. It's the thing you've grown for 2 years. I didn't want to be the one going like, why don't you just not do that? Like, that just seemed crappy of me. Like, I wasn't understanding what you were trying to do, and I wanted to help you solve the problem. But it was so...
So you're just being supportive.
But not blindly supportive. Right. I was trying to help you work through, like, thinking that your end goal for your ultimate satisfaction was to have the company that you started that was what I wanted to go for. I didn't want to go like, well, why don't you pivot? Because then it's like, I didn't want it to sound like I was saying, well, clearly the idea is failing, so why don't you just give up and do something else? Like, which wasn't what I wanted. I was just looking for what is going to bring you joy. Because what I was seeing was, you know, you're got a lot of sticky notes on the wall. There must be 50 sticky notes, there's 60, 70 sticky notes on the wall. Here, there's one on the light switch here. Just there. Anyway, there's sticky notes everywhere that were like your vlog ideas. Like, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do my boosted board battery, I want to do Big Bear, I want to do one about this. But then, you know, these were these things you're like, I just want to go grab my camera and do this right now. And you were going like, no, and you were just hunkering down and like, this is my marketing plan, this is my this and that. I've never started a business, so I was like, well, you know, it's like you're doing your homework before you go outside and play. It made sense, but at the same time, it's like, if you're literally stopping yourself from being Sharesparked by doing that, because you're putting the thing on the shelf so you can do something. It was just, I don't know. I feel bad that I had the thought months ago of like, well, why not do both? But my impulse would have been like, well, obviously if you had to choose, you would choose the business one. And I didn't want you to not choose the personal one, because the personal one is what people like are connecting with and have been connecting with forever. So
and I see. Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. I just feel
but you shouldn't feel bad.
But I should have at least brought it up.
It's fine, babe.
2 months ago.
No, but like every person who I've talked to that has like business experience has told me the opposite.
Yeah, I don't have any business experience.
And that's the thing. Like, obviously, who am I going to, people are doing that too. They're factoring in, like, I know what you're kind of doing at your vlog channel. I see what you're passionate about. But if you're labeling yourself as an entrepreneur, vlogger, creator, you got those done. It's entrepreneur and Sharespark is your business. Like, you need to figure that out. And so I just was like, yeah, that's what I need to figure out,
There's a thought I had coming home, which was, and it just goes back to what you tell people when you meet them at a networking event, which is, and I don't know, we're working through this live. So as of this moment, this is what I do. What do you say?
Right now?
Yeah.
Like pre this conversation?
No, post this conversation.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it.
Well, because what it kind of seems like to me, however you frame it, just what it seems like, I could be wrong. You're ultimately, you quit your job to be a YouTuber. Which personally, I'm a big fan of that. But that's also one of those things where people are like, that's what my 5-year-old wants to be when they grow up. That's what whatever. But I mean, that's what all of this is built on. How else are you sharing your story? What is your course built about? How did we meet? What is all of this been built around is, I mean, really it's sharing your story through the medium of video and digital media, but that's the main platform that you're using. And it's the one everyone in the world uses. But it's scary because it's much easier to say, I quit my job to start a business versus I quit my job to be a YouTuber. Yeah,
but the thing is, so I don't mind introducing myself as YouTuber, but the thing is, YouTuber has a perception.
Connotation.
Already, yeah. YouTuber is not like
positive.
It's not a good thing.
Yeah, or in some people's lives. But
that's what I want to show is like.
Well, because the other thing too is what I hear is.
Yeah, but you don't want to be a YouTuber necessarily.
Hell yeah, I would in a second.
No, but I think, but the thing is, like, even for me, well, okay, I see what you're saying, and that's the end goal eventually. But even, like, I'll say this for like Carissa and me. I don't know if I can say it for James, but we didn't start our YouTube channels to be YouTubers,
right?
Like that.
You started to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean like I guess I didn't mean like YouTuber. I just sort of meant like.
Not YouTuber in the way that like
you're not trying to be Logan Paul, but you're not trying to be anybody. But I mean, like, you're not trying to work the platform for like, I'm going to cultivate this persona and I'm going to do this, that, the other thing. But you're utilizing the platform as your full-time, what you spend your full time on.
No, I'm not. I am. But James doesn't have to quit his job.
Right. But we're not talking about James.
I know, but I don't. But I want to say what I am trying to make other people do,
which is share their story.
Yeah,
spark their potential. For James, that was doing food after work, doing something super fun after working really hard and like probably a very stressful situation. Right. Same thing for me.
Yeah,
I work. Working with teenagers is fun, but it's also there's a lot of them that are super jaded, and it's really fun to then come home and just emphasize things that I'm the opposite of jaded, which is enthusiastic about, like.
Right.
That's what I.
So if I were to introduce myself now, I would say, I would still say that I'm documenting my entrepreneurial journey because I still am.
Yeah.
Through vlogs on YouTube, and I also teach people how to use YouTube to share their story and spark their potential.
We don't have any of that paper, but if we did, that's where we come up.
That's the new thing.
But the other thing that I know, the tagline, I've been doing all this work. I missed about a half hour because I was like in a meeting, but then I just had it on and I was listening and like working. But no, that's what I was saying though, is because like I wouldn't expect you to be like, oh, I'm a YouTuber. But my point was that's sort of a scarier thing to introduce yourself as opposed to starting a business. I think I would be a little like, especially at first, oh, like it's kind of whatever. Because people will say, that's what my 5-year-old wants to be. That's what my 7-year-old wants to be. My kid just wants to be a YouTuber when they grow up. Okay, cool. I don't think that's a negative thing. I think you can take those small kids' passions, channel it into something. Maybe it's that, maybe it's something different. But I also think like, yeah, it's pretty cool that in your 30s, you're pursuing something with the same purity, enthusiasm, and genuineness that a 5-year-old would. Like, that's what every friggin' 40-year-old, 20-year-old, 30-year-old who's just stuck in their like job that they hate would love to do. And I don't know. I think if you have the opportunity to do that,
so you're saying
you got yourself the opportunity to do that. You took the opportunity to do that. You should embrace that.
Right.
1,000%.
Like own it.
Yeah, well, I think that's what Kevin said there. I just saw.
Okay, hold on. Let's.
He went on a whole thing.
I see. Okay,
He
Kevin
sent
went
a
on
raven
a whole.
with a scroll.
Okay, here we go, Kevin. Kevin says, "I think everything's happening as it should be. It's helping you learn and lead up to something." He's saying to Tom, "Not your fault. Don't blame yourself for that. I think it's always understandable to blame yourself as a supportive partner, but at the end of the day, we're all responsible for our own growth and learning." Then he says, well, that's exactly it. You can't tell someone this is what you should realize. It's always more effective if they realize it themselves. But Heather, I'm sure people told you in one way or another, but it's not going to be as clear as they want unless you understand it. A YouTuber is not a bad thing. Heather, you're an influencer. Own it. There is nothing wrong being a YouTuber. Who cares? So you were using the platform to cultivate your persona. The difference is that you do everything a YouTuber influencer does, but with a clear intent and message. Call yourself an educator.
Yeah. I've been super offended because sometimes I'll talk to people who like aren't teachers like I am, where you teaching credential and have a classroom and stuff. And they're like, basically they're in something for money, and then they'll go, oh yeah, I'm a teacher. And I've like gotten into arguments with people like, no, you're not. Like, no. Everybody has taught somebody something, but you're not no. I would feel no qualms with you referring to yourself as an educator. As an educator, I would feel you've done 191 educational things on this channel. Like, I could watch any one of your videos, even the silly ones, and learn something from it. And the whole piece of work as a whole is like, that's what you do. That's what you did to my students. That's what you did to your students. That what you do to your family. Like, yeah, I mean, calling yourself an educator, like that has a bit of clout to it, and you are. Whether or not you refer to yourself, you are.
Oh man, what a turn of events. So what else? I mean, like when you like signed off from the live stream, what else were you thinking? Well, actually, here's my first question. What did you think it was about?
I mean, it was a direction for the company. I didn't really know what. I sort of have an inkling that it was something like this, but I didn't know how you were going to approach it or frame it. But it was also like, it was hard because, it'd be like a passing period like this, and then, teach a class of 40 teenagers and like, then come back to it. So it was like spurts where I'm like, have all these thoughts in my head, but I'm trying to also like, this is how Photoshop works. So like,
oh, actually, sorry. I just thought of something. I think I'm just going to stick to vlogger, creator, and entrepreneur, because vlogger kind of solves that problem of YouTuber, but then a lot of people don't know what vlogger is, and so that's my chance to explain, like, it's like a YouTuber, but this is what we do. We share our story,
Spark your potential.
Yeah.
HeatherJustCreate. Share your story, spark your potential.
We solved it.
We solved it. Here we go.
Okay.
You seem very, you have, this is the same thing that like my friends told me when they met you for the first time with me, where they told me I have a lightness about me that they hadn't seen before.
Aww.
You have an ease and a lightness that I haven't seen in a really long time.
I feel so like I could cry again. I just feel so like I'm not sad. I'm just.
There's nothing to be sad about.
There's not a day that goes by where I don't feel like I'm, but I try to figure it out.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things I love about you is you have very high expectations for yourself. And you're never somebody who's going to settle for something. So when you make a decision, you're not making a decision to take the easy way out. You're making a decision because that's what's going to help you be your best. And because like the conversation we were talking about earlier, your best isn't you out to make $1 million. Your best is to do something positive for other people. You doing things that are holding you to your best is better for everybody. And the 5,600 people who signed up for that already, like, would agree, I think.
Oh my gosh. Okay, my brother says now you can call yourself an educator and you have the classes to back you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do. And Sharespark is still a thing. Like it's still still what you're doing. It's
you
still...
know, honestly, I feel no sadness of like just letting it be.
It's still a thing. It doesn't mean that you have to have an active YouTube channel and stuff, but it means like it's a business entity. You got a credit card, you got taxes, you got the practical. It can handle the day-to-day like workings of what you're doing.
Right.
So you're doing your thing, but that's, you know, what does that look like when it comes to the practical part of it? Well, okay, here's the business entity that handles that. That's Sharespark. You never know. And
yeah,
in the future, at some point, like it could become a bigger self-sustaining thing, but you're over here doing your thing.
Right. Oh man.
It's
I feel so just like I just got whipped in the face with this crazy realization, and I feel so like exhausted. Like I have a headache, and I've been crying.
Well, you've been talking for like 3 hours or something.
And I'm like, I need to go watch a comedy or something.
Yeah.
But oh man, so was that it? Was that all like your thoughts?
I just had one and I forgot what it was, and I think it was an important one.
What do you think about Sharespark TV?
Just put it on your channel.
Right.
As I think it was Black Girl. I don't remember what the name was, but she was like, well, just playlist. Yeah, that's perfect. Because then that almost works out so much better because you're over here making all your stuff and constantly saying share your story, spark your potential.
And now you could see it.
And it's right there. And it's like you said, why would you have to open up another window and click another link and follow another thing? Like, it's just right there. Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
What?
I was very shocked this morning when you were like, so what's the update? And I was like, what are you talking about? You're like, Casey's update. And I was like, oh, because like, even though, well, we met through your boosted board, we were both introduced to boosted boards through Casey. And, you know, that was a main connection that we had right off the bat, was like being inspired by him. But the whole time I've known, you're like, I don't watch Casey anymore. I don't do that. I'm not interested in that. So I was like, why do you want to watch it? Like, I was really confused. I was like, sure. Like, otherwise I'd have to like wait till my lunch break to watch this or something. So I was kind of shocked. And then his whole thing from today was he's reevaluating. He was admitting failures, not that you had failures, but he was reevaluating and restructuring and redirecting. And so on my channel over the Christmas holidays, we did a live stream where I read an essay that I had written in college, which was sort of like, I wrote this like 10 or 11 years ago, and it was about me looking forward down like the path of my life and what I did and didn't want to be. And I really like it. It's one of my favorite things I've ever written. But there was a period of time, a number of years, where I'd find a little book that was in, and I would like hide it. It was like Jumanji, like it'd be in the closet, like, and be like, no, like go away. Because I didn't feel that I didn't feel that I was living up to the thing the potential that I had like put into that. And I always kind of wondered, because you're like, I don't need to watch them. Like, I'll make my own stuff. Why do I need to do that? And I was always like, but I love watching them because it inspires me to go make my own stuff. And I always wondered if that maybe, this is literally just me wondering, was because you kind of felt like, I don't know, like that's what I wish I could be doing, but instead I'm doing this. Or like, I don't know if there was like a block of some kind there. And I don't know if that like, I was just interested in like that you wanted to do that this morning, and then this conversation happened today. I know it's a culmination of many things, or if that was the final straw, or well, I guess the Facebook ad was the final straw, but
yeah.
No, Sandra's there.
Oh, Sandra, I'm late, but whatever you're doing, I have faith in you. It's all working for good, whatever it is, because you're true to yourself. Thank you, Sandra. #1 fan here. Oh, Sandra, you missed. Just watch the first 30 minutes. You know, it's very intense, and I'm actually really curious as to what you think, because it's basically like a total, you know. Oh, Kevin, like I was about to create the Facebook ad.
That's what sparked this.
Yeah, that's what sparked the entire, like, what, because I was like, what channel do I create the ad on? HeatherJustCreate or Sharespark Media? And then I just played it through. I was like, if someone clicks on the ad to Sharespark Media on Facebook, what are they going to see? Like,
so it's all Kevin's fault, really, because he did the whole ad.
And then, like, you know, I thought if someone went to the HeatherJustCreate channel, they would see my progress party video. That's the first thing that they would see. And that, like, that to me, I feel like if it were you and you hadn't met me yet and you saw that ad and you saw that video, you'd be like, oh my God, like, that's great. Like, how cool. I'm damn proud of that video, you know?
You should be.
Yeah, because it's amazing. And
it's not just that it's a good video, but you can't have made that video without spending a year and a half doing it.
Exactly. And
it's pretty cool.
It's so clearly conveys the struggle and the genuine story that I share, that's authentic and that's pure and that's not about making money or anything, you know.
Did Kevin laugh because he said Facebook ads are the same thing to me? Made me realize a ton. Did I tell you that after watching your guys' stream, I bought well, not an Instagram ad, but I took Kevin's tips, bought a Facebook ad thing mainly targeted towards Instagram, and it probably hasn't cut anything, but I narrowed down my audience. I followed the steps one by one. And then it's like, what do you want them to say? And I was like, what am I selling? And so in the ad, it pops up in your feed. It says, I literally have nothing to sell you. I just want you to check out my videos. And like, to me, that cracked me up. And I was like, this could be this could be the stupidest idea in the world. But I was like, it doesn't really matter because I don't have to like make a profit. I literally just want people to go watch my videos because I work hard on them and I like them and I want people to see them. And I was like, it made me laugh so hard that an ad would pop up that's like, it's like buying a billboard just to be like, hey, I'm Tom, what's up, guys? Like, which it made me laugh so much. But it was the whole thing of like, you kind of have some power when I mean, obviously, like, money is a thing that needs to be made, but when you're not approaching everything as a money-making opportunity, like, you actually have a lot of power and leverage. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is like, you're willing to sacrifice a lot that other people aren't. And that puts you in a very different position to be a genuine influencer, not like not a fabricated influencer.
Right.
Which is powerful because you're maintaining your integrity through it all and your whole focus.
Kevin says Facebook ads do the same thing to me. Sandra says, one of your many strengths, telling a good story. Not everyone can do that. Don't take it for granted.
Yeah. Storytelling.
I know.
Can I tell you one selfish thing? I was going to tell you this like when we weren't talking to the internet. But because a lot of this is you going like, what's the whole point of Sharespark? It was to help people share their stories, spark their potential. I wanted to help share people's stories. 7 years ago, when I first had the idea for the Enthusiasm Project, it was to share people's stories who were doing things that they were genuinely enthusiastic about, and kind of like spread the excitement that James was talking about of just wanting to go make something, like to spread that feeling was my goal. I didn't know what to call it because the word hadn't been invented yet. But that was my main goal. And then that kind of morphed into, a different thing that it is now. And then, like teaching these media classes and stuff. And I think that it's very cool that you were then developing a media program while having this other idea of, essentially motivating people to create stuff and sharing things that people are excited about and doing this positive. I like it. it's really cool that that was happening years apart before we knew each other.
We're soulmates.
It's pretty cool. I just wanted to point that out. I don't take that for granted at all. But like literally literally the Enthusiasm Project and Sharespark, conceptually are two sides of the same coin that never had the other side. And I think that it's super cool that like it just happened.
Yeah. And
like
that's why I fell in love. Because we felt that, but we didn't, like, even when we didn't know it.
Yeah. And that's the biggest, I don't know, it was powerful.
Because I was thinking even with Sharespark TV, I was like, why does it have to be under Sharespark Media? Why can't it be Peter McKinnon and Casey Neistat? They don't have to go create a third thing.
Yeah. And I mean, that's what, yeah. I have some other...
And I know why I did it that way. I did it that way because I wanted to get sponsorships. I wanted to make money. But again, like... It makes
sense. I would have done the exact same thing.
Right.
And it makes sense, too, if you wanted to bring other people on in the future. Like, because I was thinking about Casey's thing today, trying to figure out what he's doing. Because he's starting, like, he bought this 3-store, or got the lease to, like, a 3-story office space in Manhattan. And is like working with other creators, and he's going to post a video every day. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, it's all on his channel. But if you're starting a small channel, the opportunity to post something on Casey's, who has 9 million subscribers, would be great. But at the same time, then you have to create double the work to then produce content. Like, I'm trying to figure out what they're going to do because nobody really knows yet. That it was all under his thing, but not under his thing. I forget why I brought that up, but it is sort of the idea of splitting things off for purpose and not for purpose. But for Sharespark, if the idea were to bring other people on at some point, it wouldn't make sense to like hire some producer of something, some content producer, and then have them be on HeatherJustCreate, because why would, content Kyle over here like want to, like, that wouldn't make any sense. It would make sense to be like The Verge or any of those like publications where, oh, The Verge posted a video. It's probably going to be a video created by any number of these producers for that channel who create stuff. And I know this guy's going to have this kind of review. This guy's going to have this kind of content. That's what I always thought like Sharespark would be in the future, where it's not just a one-person deal. And that's what it's... I always thought that too. That's what it's there for.
Yeah, because that's why it was an entity, because I wanted it to be beyond me.
Right.
Yeah. And it was a movement, it was this whole thing like, look, other people are doing it too. Check them out. Blah, blah,
and that's still 100% on the table.
But it can be. Yeah. Like, there's nothing stopping you from putting Sharespark in your thing, Like, people can do that. Like, people adopt... people quote other people all the time. Like, people could just do that.
Yeah. And so, so it makes sense why... Oh, because you asked, why did you put Sharespark TV on Sharespark?
Oh,
he has a lot of opinions about this.
Opinion? Opinion? Oh, okay. You gonna barf on me, man?
He just burped. It goes with the dog ASMR channel I wanted to start.
Oh, I love you. Okay, what were we saying?
But why you were splitting it. It made sense. And it still makes sense to do that. But it also makes sense why anything that's yours would be yours. And it's yours, and you can do whatever you want with it. You don't have a boss. Like,
I know.
You can do whatever you want.
I mean, I feel 100% good about this. There's no, like, I'm not like hesitant or anything. Like, just how relieved I feel in not having to manage a whole second freaking brand. I'm just like,
yeah,
I feel so like I have a headache just because I'm so lightheaded about it. Yeah.
Well, because I think too, managing a second brand and then trying to bring in money from that through deals and sponsorship and networking, like, that's a whole thing. But I think you leveraging the power that you have to be your own brand and just stand up and do whatever you think you need to be doing on any given day makes it so powerful that ideally the money part would take care of itself in the future, because you won't have to seek it out. It will seek you out. If you build it, they will come.
So does this make sense? Like, okay, all Sharespark Media channels, they're done. Like, I'm not going to delete them because who knows what happens in the future, but they're just going to sit there and
they still have everything on them.
Yeah. So. No, like, new content. Okay. All of the content that I'm ever going to put out, that I was going to put out for Sharespark, is all just going to be on HeatherJustCreate, the YouTube channel, like every single account that I have. So this isn't going to stop me, but like, because you're a follower of my Instagram account, you start seeing like Sharespark TV clips. Is that weird?
No,
because it's part of my story, right?
Yeah, it would make total sense. This dog is gassy, but no, that one.
I guess that's my only thing, because like it really doesn't matter, because these are questions I shouldn't even like be thinking about, because obviously the goal is to get more and more followers who don't even like, like they're not going to think about, oh, what was it like before I followed her, but I'm just trying to think, like, I have so much content that I was planning to upload, to post on Sharespark, that now I want to, if I just hit it heavy on HeatherJustCreate, like, oh, you can share your story, here are YouTube tips, Sharespark TV, and Sharespark, does that take away from like the behind the scenes?
Because 2 points to bring that up. The first example I have is actually Travis Barker, who's one of my favorite drummers, because one of his companies is Famous Stars and Straps, like the clothing company. His Instagram feed, he has like 10 different companies, but his Instagram feed is him playing the drums everywhere, and then suddenly it's just stuff from whatever they were working on. Here's a photo shoot, here's a new design, here's a whatever. It's all him. So it all makes sense to me. The second one is taking someone like Peter or Casey. They do tutorials and they do about their channels. But if Casey, well, he almost seems sort of like haphazard about like trying everything. But if someone like Peter, who's a little more strategic, where like, this is what I did to grow my YouTube channel in a year, and that popped up on his feed for me, I would love to hear that, because it's like, this person I'm following because I love all their stuff, and now they're gonna like share that with me, like,
right. It's part of the reason why you're following him,
to see what you're doing, to see how you're doing,
and how you do it. Yeah.
And you're just telling me, and I don't have to follow another account. Like,
yes.
That, I mean.
Because I was even thinking about the hashtags that I use for Sharespark on the Instagram. It's all like entrepreneur related, because I haven't bothered to change them. Small business, da da da. And I'm like, these people really follow me because they want to make money.
Well, that was what I was going to ask earlier during the beginning when you were steamroll crying.
I was so,
which was fine. I was going to ask,
I love you.
Where's the overlap between HeatherJustCreate subscribers and Sharespark subscribers or followers or whatever? Is it the same group? Is it two different groups?
It's both.
It's a little of both. Do you know, like, have any idea of like a percentage?
No, I'd say half, because there isn't that much existing audience to work with. So I would like, Sharespark Media has about like 450 subscribers on YouTube. On Instagram, it has like 170 followers. So I would say like it's about half and half. Half of these people
came over from
knew me. They knew me and they followed my thing because they want to see what I'm building. So those are like the really loyal fans. And then there's the people or the people who wanted to start YouTube channels or whatever. And then there's the people who, the one-off, like, I found you on the hashtag, or I saw your tutorial the one time, but like, even on the YouTube, I think the ratio is insane. It's like 99% of the people that view the Sharespark Media content are not subscribed.
Yeah. Well, of course, because that's just been sitting there, and it has some content that's done like really, really well. But that's because that's what it should be doing. It's, hey, how do I make a video with my iPhone? Cool. Here's a sweet tutorial about that. How do I make business small? Like, people search for things, they find it, it's done, but they're not gonna. I don't know. Like I guess that's true. Like, I'm not gonna follow Nike, although that's a bad example. Lots of people follow Nike. I'm not gonna follow Burlington Coat Factory. But I'd follow, like, if the owner of Burlington Coat Factory was super interesting, I'd follow them. I'm not going to follow Amazon, but I might follow Jeff Bezos just to see, like, what does this person do?
Right? And I've been saying that this whole time. It's even in Zero to YouTube Hero is that people follow people.
Your own advice is the hardest to take, always. I know this as a teacher. The digital media teacher who didn't make any digital media for, like, 6 years. Things are happening.
So Sandra says, Heather, take your video and mic out. People like hearing stories about how others live and what they do. I know, and I love doing that. Those are my favorite vlogs where I interviewed other creators. Oh, I should like get back into that.
That was my whole point for starting my channel way back when.
Kevin says, as far as my understanding goes, Sharespark is still alive, but only as the name of your instructional course. So 1, it makes sense you have some Sharespark content branded, and 2, it's still different from your brand name. I mean, really, it sounds like a simple but very logical fold into your channel. Okay, I see. So like...
That's what we're talking. He's just sort of summing up what we've been talking about.
I know, but he's very keen on including Sharespark in the name.
In
02, like Sharespark 022 Hero.
Like a Sharespark product.
I don't know.
A Sharespark course.
Clarify, Kevin Ramirez. If you're just tuning in, hello. My name is Heather, blogger, creator, and entrepreneur, and I'm documenting my entrepreneurial journey in sharing my story and sparking my potential. How did you like that? I need to work on it. Need some
polish. Yeah, but it's not bad. Well, because the part that got me was the sharing my story and sparking my potential. Because it's much more powerful when I share your
people, yeah. And
but I'm like, how would you intro that?
To share their story, spark their potential. Okay. Anyway, if you're just tuning in and you're a subscriber and you've been following, basically the summary is, what is the summary, Tom?
I was going to say something real sarcastic and weird, like that's not related at all. The summary is that trying to maintain 2 separate brands and entities is challenging and time consuming and energy consuming. And at a certain point, you hit a realization of why? Why does one person have 2 identities? So you're not going to be bipolar anymore. You're going to be unipolar, monopolar. You kind of realize what Sharespark is and isn't, and what HeatherJustCreate is and isn't, and what you are and aren't.
Yes, exactly. That, and as a result, basically Sharespark Media is just, it's not going to be a brand anymore. It's going to be, it's an idea. It's like a concept.
The concept of Sharespark is still the core of everything.
Yeah, of everything that I'm doing and everything, my story and stuff like that. But Sharespark Media itself is no longer going to be a brand that I try to breathe life into by creating content for it. I'm going to Sharespark people and like make Sharesparking a thing by creating my own content on this channel, and just anything that I was planning to do for Sharespark is just going to be folded into HeatherJustCreate.
Kevin did something.
I mean, really, it sounds like a simple but very logical fold into your channel. Hi, my name is Heather, and I'm an influencer that believes in sharing your story to reach your potential. Check out my instructional course called Sharespark to learn more.
Done. He said done to his own thing.
Done. I think, yeah, like, I mean, I think it could still be that. Like you said, the Sharespark Media is still like, you know, like logistically and for business purposes, it still is an entity. I'm just not going to be creating content for it. So 022 Hero is hosted on the Sharespark Media Hub, which eventually I'd like to add more courses to. So then, yeah, I could say like, you know, this is a Sharespark Media Hub or the Sharespark Hub. And 022 Hero is just one of those products. And then, you know, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah. And like Sharespark Media is, you know, me.
But it would be you, like, you know, on HeatherJustCreate, you have a video, you talk about stuff, blah, 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 and then link to the course that's on the Sharespark Hub. And then you don't need there's no need to even have anything else.
So what do I do with the content that's on Sharespark Media or no? That's not even like no one's seeing it.
Well, if nobody's seeing it, I would just put it on yours. Just like when you
moved everything
over. Yeah, because I mean, what do you like when I asked you, is it okay to change a video's thumbnail and tags and stuff? And you're like, well, if no one's seeing it, who cares? Like, what are you hurting?
Right.
So it's the same thing. You've got this gold content, which is great. So put it where people can see it. You know, if one of the few people who already saw it re-sees it, well,
who cares? They just won't watch it.
Yeah, or they'll rewatch it.
Right.
And learn something.
Sandra says, Kevin, yes, sounds good. Done. Kevin says, we need a movement, so Sharespark is a smart move. Keep that alive. But this makes it easier for you and Sharespark to create content that makes it more effective. You're almost advocating for content marketing. Put it on yours.
Yeah, the content that's missing.
So, Kevin, I'm kind of having trouble with what you're saying. You're saying
Kevin is marketing to the core.
Dream. Jam.
I'll see what happens then.
Yeah. If you don't know who Kevin is, he's my brother.
I don't know what's
you
happening.
cut out. Uh-oh.
I cut out?
It says we cut out. Gonna invite you to the stream, Kevin. I sent you an invite for you to clarify, because I don't think we're on the same page. I don't understand what Kevin's saying.
I don't want to assume anything. I don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
You're back. No, she's Heather. No.
Oh, he says no.
That's fine.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, Kevin's working. But explain, because I don't know what you mean. So does it make... So here's what I think you're saying. Take all the content that's on the Sharespark Media YouTube channel and kind of just... This Sharespark Media YouTube channel is just there. I'm not going to do anything with it. And then take all the content that's on there and upload it to this channel. And no more content for Sharespark. No more creating content for Sharespark. Sharespark is an idea. It's just the thing that I live by. It's my motto. It's my tagline. And then my product that I sell as HeatherJustCreate is the Sharespark Hub, which is like an online school that will help people to share their story and spark the potential. One of those products being Zero to YouTube Hero.
Oh, then you definitely can't call yourself an educator.
Does that make sense?
The Sharespark school.
Yeah. It's not going to be a school.
I know, but I mean the idea of like, that's what you're selling. So what are you selling? What does it do? Well, look, there's a whole list of things you can learn.
You embody Sharespark. Yes. Okay. So I think my understanding is
whatever the original thing was. I think that's a great plan. What you just said.
Okay. What's wrong, Ben?
Oh,
Ben.
Oh,
yes, there you go. You sell Sharespark and you hashtag Sharespark because you live the lifestyle. Exactly. That's what Logan Paul does with the Maverick.
Yeah, this is just valuable. Sorry.
What's wrong, Ben? You don't want us to live stream anymore? Huh? Your main product is this course.
The right way, Ben.
Okay, yeah, got it.
He is stuck now.
Oh, this will not end well. Okay. As far as transferring the Sharespark content onto your channel.
Dog sounds.
I would do it in a more intentional way. Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not going to just be like, hey, guys, here's 10 videos.
Random media videos. Okay, guys.
I probably won't upload everything just because I'm even thinking back to what's on there. But, like,
you have something that...
But, yeah, there's something... And it's so outdated, too. So there's some things that, like, oh, here, you know, if I do Tutorial Tuesday, this would be a great, you know... Like, how to edit a vlog, that's a tutorial I took from Sharespark and put it on my channel just to see how it would do. I can't remember which channel it's doing better on. But, yeah. So that's basically what I'm going to do.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. Okay.
Simple. Simplicity is the ultimate elegance. Because it means you understand exactly what you have.
Simple. It's simple. Okay, guys, I think we're going to end it. Kevin, you look like you're in the middle of the thought. Oh, you had two personas. One for Sharespark and one for Heather. Take the Sharespark content and make it more Heather. Saves time for you and hits your point home. All right. Okay, we're going to end it. I don't think I can do another live stream. Can we not do Sharespark TV today?
Oh, I think this counts.
Yeah. Okay. To end this, thank you so much for all of you guys who tuned in. Man, I don't even know. I'm very excited for what's to come. Clearly, this is like a new chapter. I'm very like, you know, I'm amped about this like new direction. And I think based on the feedback, it's one that is a good one. We've hashed it out. It's not going to be just an impulsive whim, which is what I was worried about. And I'm excited to see how this changes everything and to see what I end up doing. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for everyone who shared with me your perspective. Thanks, Tom, for being a guest and for obviously everything. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, all of you guys. See ya. Stay tuned for more vlogs. Stay tuned for more content because now you're going to get it for sure. So yeah, thank you, Chill Out Chops, Matthew, Sandra. Bye, everybody. Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already. Check out Zero to YouTube Hero.
It is really good.
Thanks. Go check out Tom's channel. Link in the
really
description. And blah, 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 blah. Now I'm just tired. All right. Catch you guys later. Sharespark. Share your story.
Spark your potential.
Yeah.